Okay. I think it's working. I don't really know. I see people in the chat. What up, people? Everyone who dropped in already. And we're already gonna put someone in timeout. How about that? Boy. What up, Flair, Cracker, Aiden, Steven, Anime, Brett, Doopy, 3 Smack, Max and Ruby. What is that? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea. Sorry, but I appreciate you coming over to say what's up. Okay, yeah, I guess it is working. It's just not necessarily showing up where I was expecting to see it, but all right, whatever. I hope everyone's having a great Friday night. If it's even Friday night wherever you're at, it might not be, but thanks for dropping in and seeing what's up. I'm gonna get back to the actual screen I need, hopefully. What up, Lizzie? Dragon. What up, everybody? Yeah, this was a little impromptu, except for the people that followed me on social media. Speaking of, I should be trying to tweet this out, but the video is not showing up for me. How are the audio levels? I don't even know. I'm not wearing my headset. I see you, Houdini. I see you. D-Dog, Ace, Pin the Dolphin, Dave, Erica. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Crazy. I was gonna tweet this out and everything, but I don't know. It's not showing me my own video in the video manager. I don't know. YouTube's been crazy lately. It really has. Just show me the video. I know there's a few people that were waiting on social media to actually see, but yeah, I'm looking on my channel. I don't see. That's so weird, so random too. I see you, Bella. Shout out from Oklahoma, California. What up, man? Yep, always gonna remember you. When will I make a freaking Discord? I'm not sure. I probably should. Joe Richmond, how do you donate? The little money symbol below the chat, the super chat. I don't know if iPhones and all that have it yet, but that's how you super chat. And speaking of, very much appreciated, especially with what's been going on lately. Oh my god. It's just been stressful as hell. I'm still trying to debate what's going on with the channel. I don't know if I'm gonna try to merge the channels or what. Like, it's just been crazy. I've been talking on the phone with a guy from YouTube, and he doesn't know what's going on. Like, I should be having ads, but like I'm not getting any ads or anything, so it's really sucking. So he keeps telling me if I'm having issues like that, since I should have ads, that I should just take my video down and re-upload it. But then if I keep doing that, I'm spamming everyone's inboxes with or their subscription boxes with a whole bunch of the same shit, which isn't good. What up, Fluffy? I see you. Even, what up? Yeah, I see you, Fluffy. I see you. Calm down. I see you. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers. It's not just me. It's our whole genre. They're getting, not even genre. Like I think even Glam and Gore said she was getting hit too, really bad. But yeah, it's been getting pretty hectic. That's for sure, and very worrisome. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. But I've been debating on trying to maybe just upload some fear videos over on Urmaker, and I don't know. Like, it's seriously crazy. I see you, Wolfpack. Lewis, thank you. I appreciate that. Or Luis. It's probably Luis. Oh, Bethany, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bethany. You are awesome. And yeah, you'll definitely get a special thanks. And in the next video. And also, actually, I have a couple perks for super chats, because I figured some people might donate just to help us out, and just for that, like Yeah, I have a couple little perks if you look in the description, like Bethany's for $10. I'd read a line or two, whatever she wanted. Obviously, nothing hateful or anything like that. Just keep it fun, you know? Like, I know people are always like, say this, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, I'm down for that. Tyron, will I ever notice you? No, I will not. Not at all. Yeah, Lord, it was kind of impromptu. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream or not. But, yeah, figured I'd get on here and stream. See if anything's really changing with the whole live stream system. I'm going to probably have to start trying to do this a little bit more. George Cruz, I see you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $1 super chat. All donations definitely go towards helping future production with everything going on. They pretty much said just hold on, and we're hoping at this point. So yeah. Can I do New Mexico scary stories? I haven't done that in a while, but yeah, that actually sounds like it'd be a little bit of fun to do again. Friday hype. Yes, most definitely. Ace explode, baby. I see you. I see you. Alexis, I see you. I see you. Well, I think what I'll do, I could put on a story from Fear and let that play. I'm doing very well, Milton. Figured I'd get on here. Don't leave from YouTube. I see. I wouldn't leave from YouTube. It would just be like not being able to upload much, not having the time, because it's actually really time consuming. When I was working full time and trying to get my YouTube taken off, like I was literally sleeping 4 hours, 3 hours. Like it's really a lot more than you'd think. Like jumping in, I really thought it'd be a lot easier, but it's not. And then with the whole ad thing, like it's weird because your ads will go up for, I don't know, like a few hours. Like I've had it where it goes like 12 hours, 20 hours, sometimes a day, where your ads are fine on there, and then it just turns them off all of a sudden. And you don't get a notification. Like it's still saying my videos are monetized. They're just not actually showing up. TDO, I just subbed. Right on. Well, welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. Set up a donation fund. Actually, you can donate here. I'm debating on hooking up another Patreon. I closed that a while ago, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to open it back up. I see you, Armbrace. Is that what that is? Harambe's child. Harambe's. Epic fail. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, super chat takes 30%, but it's still, and that's actually less revenue than the ads take. I think ads YouTube takes 60% of all of that. But even so, like it's, yeah. Someone wants to get a timeout. Bad little guy, you get a timeout. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'll play a video from Fear that you guys can listen to if you want, and then I'll hop back on here. That way, it gets everyone a little spooky story. If you guys are following me on or subscribe to my other channel, Fear Urmaker, you might have heard it probably, but we'll go ahead and play it, and hopefully you guys enjoy Paranormal. Someone asked, do I have pets? Yes, I have 2 cats and 2 guinea pigs. So yeah. Is it true you only get paid now once you hit 10,000 views? It's supposed to be like channel views overall, so that wouldn't even affect me anyways. So that's not the issue. Like even the guy I've been talking to on the phone at YouTube, he doesn't know what the issue is. I contacted him day before yesterday. I emailed him and asked him what the issue is, and he said he didn't know, and then he'd forward it to the tech team. And then I messaged him again today saying that it's getting really crazy, and yeah, he doesn't really know, so he was gonna reach back out to him, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. What up, Randy? Do Spanish horror stories. So yeah, it'd be nice to get a lot of different variations of stories and whatnot going, Because I always figured that'd be a lot better to get more of the broad things going on. Good luck on your robotics competition, Houdini. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so about stories getting sent in, if I can use it. I can't pre-approve a story pre-hand if it's before I read it, because I've gotten stories that are literally like one line long, where it'll talk about I saw someone and they looked at me funny. So it's really hard. I can't always say, but definitely send me in your story for sure. Urmaker quit, he told me. No, I did not. I actually forgot I had my mic muted. That's what happened. If you guys follow me on Twitch, you'll notice I do that all the time. More Bay Area stories. Yes, most definitely. I love the Bay Area stories, especially since that's where I'm from. It's really awesome. Especially getting that one up from like right around the area I was from. That was a really cool one. Someone says I'm so lonely. What's your favorite comedy movie? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I'm Austin Powers Goldmember. I thought was hilarious. I don't know, just the part where Mini-Me's trying to spit the apple juice into the piss cup. I was dying. Yeah, so it's just all depends on my mood, but stupid funny, definitely go for that. Absolutely. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play a scary story, a paranormal story. Yeah, we'll do paranormal story. This is from Urmaker. If you guys aren't subscribed to that other channel, then you're about to hear something that I put over there. That's usually all my paranormal and all that. But who knows, that might change. Might even start merging them. You might start seeing more paranormal on my channel. But this is one of the videos. This is the Ghost in the Road in the Cursed Forest. Let me know how the audio levels are too, because I don't know. So you'll have to let me know. Press play. This happened in May of 2008 in the state of Maine. It was a typical Tuesday night. My girlfriend was working in the kitchen of the small house that we rented at the time. I was sitting in the living room in my recliner, watching TV. Our 2 daughters had just been put to bed, and my girlfriend spoke up from the kitchen. "We're out of juice. I have nothing to give the girls in the morning. Can you run to the grocery store and grab some?" I glanced at my watch. It was 8:45 p.m. Our local grocery store closed at 9 p.m. I said, "Yes, if I really hurry." I grabbed the keys to our minivan and headed out the door. Our local grocery store was roughly 7 miles away. I sped down the main drag of our town, doing 60 miles per hour, until I arrived at the store at 8:57 p.m. I ran inside, told the girl behind the checkout counter I knew exactly what I needed, ran down the aisle, grabbed 2 jugs of juice off the shelf, paid for the juice, then strolled out the door. I got back in our minivan and began the drive home. There is a shortcut off the main drag that goes the back way home, which I decided to take. I put my left blinker on. There was no traffic in the oncoming lane, so I took my turn. I know at this point I should have slowed down, because I was going way too fast to safely negotiate the turn. The 2 jugs of juice in the front seat beside me began to slide forward toward the floor. To keep them from crashing, I shot my right arm out to hold the jugs back. I took my eyes off the road for maybe 1 second. When I looked back up at the road, I saw it. There was what I assumed to be a person in the middle of the road. My first thought was, "Oh shit, I'm about to run somebody over." It took me half a second to realize, however, that my headlights were shining through the person. It was crossing the road, swinging its arms in the motion of a normal person walking. The torso hovered above the pavement. It was missing all of its lower body. Its skin was a snow white. The scariest thing was its face. No eyes, just empty sockets, with that white snow skin covering the holes. There was a faint outline of a nose, but no mouth or lips. I could make out a chin, and I could see jawbones on either side of its head. It had shoulder-length black hair that looked greasy. When it reached the dirt shoulder of the road, it disappeared into thin air. This all happened within the span of 2 or 3 seconds. Fear caused the blood to rush out of my head, and I could feel my face changing color, and my body was covered in goosebumps. My hands shook as I continued to drive home. My girlfriend didn't believe me when I told her what had happened. To this day, whatever I saw remains the one and only ghost I have ever seen in my life. I moved away from that area during the early spring of 2013, but my parents still live near it. I drive by that road at least once, sometimes twice per week. I still get the chills to this day whenever I drive past that road. Thankfully, this story did not happen to me. It happened to my great-grandmother, who passed this story on to my mother, and my mother passed it on to me. When my mother was very young, she would visit my grandmother every summer. While they lay in bed, not yet asleep, my mother would always ask her grandmother to tell her the story about the little devils. Every time she asked, her grandmother would tell her the story before they dozed off to sleep. One evening, my mother decided to tell it to me, and to this day, I still get chills. This story takes place when my great-grandmother was very young, in her teens, maybe younger. She lived out in the country where many people worked in the field all day. Her friend invited her to go to a dance later that night, and she really wanted to go, so she asked her mother if she could. In order to go, her mother set many chores for her to do that day. If she did them all, then she could go to the dance. The labor was hard, and by the time she finished, she was exhausted, but still found the energy to go to the dance. The thing is, the place where this dance was happening was quite a few kilometers away, and to get there she would have to travel by foot. So, she set out, arrived there, and had a great time. By the time she was getting ready to leave, it had gotten very late, and it was dark outside. She said goodbye to her friends, and set out on her walk home, alone. The way home divided into 2 paths, one leading through a graveyard, the other one through a small forest. Any person, no matter what age, would maybe be a little frightened of the graveyard during the nighttime, especially a small girl that was walking home on her own in the dead of night. Of course, my grandmother chose the path through the forest. She knew that forest like the back of her hand. She entered it and began walking. She was extremely tired at this point, having worked all day, danced all night, and now walking back home.
Notice you guys can hear me.
She trudged on the path until she felt a little push on her back.
Whoops.
She thought nothing of it. Maybe she was just too tired and imagining things. But then she felt another push on her back. She turned around, but there was no one there. She continued walking, shaking off this creeped out feeling that something was wrong. Then, once again she felt a push, harder this time. She was getting very scared now, and started walking faster. She began hearing giggles from the bushes, and she received more and more pushes. She crossed a small bridge, and continued walking, now at the point of hysterics. She was really scared. Tears started rolling down as the pushing became harder every time. Something began tugging at her braids and dress. Black figures started flashing in front of her eyes, and the giggling would not stop. She walked as fast as she could, but her fatigue didn't let her walk fast enough. She was thinking that she would be very close to the exit of the forest, and that soon this would be over, until her hopes sank in one instant. As she walked on, she kept coming closer to the bridge. That bridge, the one she had already crossed. The pushing continued, and she cried and screamed uncontrollably. The black figures kept running around her.
She said they were entirely black, with a long ponytail, and they were just giggling and laughing at her. Through her pain and tears, she kept walking, keeping her eyes on the path so that she would not wander off it again. The pushing became even fiercer, and now it was more like punching. She cried and screamed, but who would hear her? Her village was still quite a ways away. Her hair and dress were tugged at really hard, and more punches were thrown at her from all directions. She continued crying, watching the black figures move all around her. Still being punched and shoved, she walked on, only to scream as she once again ended up on the bridge. This time it was not the bridge that scared her, but what was standing on top of it. A black figure with a long pointed tail stared at her,
crazy.
pointing and laughing as it jumped off the bridge and into the stream below. She looked over the side of the bridge, but there was no one and nothing in the water. The shoving and punching continued. Her braids were still being pulled, and she was exhausted. She began to pray, praying for all this to be over, but it wouldn't stop. It continued laughing at her, pointing and punching. It was running around everywhere. She couldn't even tell if there were one or many. It all just flashed in front of her eyes. She tried to walk in every direction that she could. She would turn in another direction right in front of the bridge. She turned backwards. She wandered through the bushes, but she kept coming back to that bridge. The black figures kept punching her and pushing her. Her legs were very close to giving up. She didn't remember when she collapsed. She woke up the next morning when she was found by her family and their friends who set out to look for her once they found she didn't come home that night. She was speechless and bruised all over, but what the friends found shocked them all. A path fully covered in my great-grandmother's footsteps, leading in a small circle from the bridge, through the forest, and back to the bridge. All night she had been walking in a circle. She didn't understand because she turned so many directions and walked so many different ways, but she always managed to return to this path. When she finally could talk, she told the villagers what had happened to her. Apparently, she is not the only one who has encountered this strange activity in that forest. That forest was thought to be cursed. A couple years back, there was a little boy around the age of 4 who had gotten lost in there. He came back the next morning and his hair was completely gray. He couldn't speak and wouldn't tell anyone what had happened. My great-grandmother had always believed that it was some form of the devil that had been in that forest that night. The only other comment she ever made about this was, "I should have chosen the path through the graveyard."
Dun dun dun. Yeah, that was I saw someone asking. That was a video that's up on Urmaker, my other channel that I have. That's what that was. Real quick, I want to give a big thank you to Stream Team for supporting the channel, as well as Joe, $5 each. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna give you a credit in the end of my next video, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be awesome. Everything's cursed, yeah. I'm burning. I'm burning. Yeah. It's always fun playing with this green screen. I actually was messing around with it a lot today, trying to get it all situated. I was actually gonna do a scary video game, but yeah, that wasn't working, so I'll probably end up doing that another time. Still waiting on the Friday the 13th to come in. I love your videos. You're amazing. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much. You're awesome. CP Edwards, thank you. Is it hurting you right now because of the ads on YouTube? Massively. Like, honestly, like I'm worried about the way things are gonna go, and it's not any help when you actually talk to support and they're like, I don't know, we'll pass it on to technical support, and then you don't hear anything back. So yeah, most definitely it's affecting me. It's affecting a lot of us in the horror community. I mean, I'm making 10% barely of what I used to. Definitely not enough to pay my bills. Definitely not. So I don't know. I'm hoping it gets fixed soon, but I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, YouTube's being very bad again. Very bad. I'm assuming I'm going to have to go Minecraft. Minecraft's going to be the new thing. I saw another person tweeting about it too. But we'll just got to be really careful of all the violence on there, because if you go hunting, you know, there's violence. Oh, shit. What's the deal with YouTube? I don't know. Everything's going crazy with all the advertisers and whatnot. They're saying a lot of people aren't ad friendly or something. I don't know. I don't have any videos technically demonetized. All of mine still show green. They just don't show ads most of the time. I think it's like 1 out of every maybe 100 clicks. I don't know. It'll show. It's crazy. Crazy. Take care, Crumbs Bell. Thanks for dropping in. Ashipumi. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Tyrene and Tunes, give me a shout out. I think I shouted you out earlier. Don't be getting greedy. Collab with Corpsey. We talked about that a while ago. I know things have been going on in his life too, and especially now with this going on, a lot of us are pretty much panicking and going to be doing our own things for a little bit, but definitely something on our minds. Just got to wait and get the actual time. Romeo, Urmaker, you're the shit. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very, very much. I dare you to sing. I don't sing. I do occasionally. I sing in the shower. I'm one of those people. I've been doing well, Kitty. Well. Airport plug. What? Airport plug-in prank. I don't know what that is. My favorite story that I read from my channel would have to probably be that one up from where I was from. I think it was in a Unit 522 collab that I did, and then I also put it in my top stories. But the one with the pot farmer and whatnot. Urmaker, touch your head. What? If not with Corpsey, then Fear Urmaker. That's the thing I've been actually really... Because like I said, when I was talking to the guy on YouTube, he told me to pretty much, if I'm having issues with my ads, because he doesn't know why there would be, especially since I've been taking the cursing out and everything. But he told me to just re-upload them, like change, edit a second out and then re-upload it. And I don't want to keep doing that, because then that'll just be an everyday thing. I'm re-uploading the same videos. So I'm debating on getting my Fear Urmaker videos and starting to put those up on here and figure something out. I don't know. Like, my mind's been crazy. I've honestly been sick to my stomach the past couple days. But I'm having faith it'll work out, definitely. And with people like CP Edwards being so amazing, Urmaker, you're so awesome. I fell asleep listening to you. Please notice. Mwah. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can help put you to sleep, because I'm so boring. Or I just have one of those voices, I guess. Thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And I notice. And I won't forget. Urmaker, probably putting you on a blacklist for ads. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. That's why I went and changed all of my tags and everything. Pretty much got rid of horror. I didn't even want horror in there. The craziest thing is scary. Like, I don't have... Most of my tags are all changed now. Changed the title of a lot of my videos, and it's not really doing much. So, I'm not really sure. Smack that like button in the face. I can't even talk. Eden sent me here. Oh, did she? Yeah, I saw her streaming earlier. I was going to say hi, but I didn't want to interrupt her story. That's awesome. I wonder if she's done. Eden, if you are done and you're listening, I hope you had a wonderful stream. Someone else Eden sent me. Eden's awesome. It's so awesome that our community is one big family, you know? Eden's Hellions are here. Awesome. Welcome, Hellions. Okay, I had to make sure I didn't have myself muted. I'm the worst with that. If you guys have been around my live streams, you'll know I'm horrible when it comes to muting myself and just sitting here. Eden for life. Eden sent me. Awesome. Eden, so awesome. Thank you so much, Eden, if you're actually here with your group. What up, Jen Jeffs? I see you. I see you. Someone's all, I love Wendigo. You know, I'd actually never heard about that until I actually did a couple stories. Same with the Chusa, the stories I just did over on Fear Urmaker. I never knew what that was either until I did those, and that was interesting. It's so cool to actually hear all the different legends, different stories from all around the world and all that stuff. So it's really nice. It's a ploy by the dying. You know, I don't know. I think it's just, I mean, I'm sure YouTube's not doing it on purpose. They're losing money too doing it. It's just whatever's happening is not working. So hopefully it will. But I mean, I kind of blame YouTube, but at the same time I can't. I mean, they're going to want their revenue too, and they're losing out on all the extra revenue. So yeah. Wolfpack, do I game? I do game. I was actually going to stream a scary game, but that didn't work out how I was wanting, so not necessarily. But I have Friday the 13th on pre-order. Once that comes in, I'm definitely going to be streaming that. Coke or Pepsi. I don't drink dark sodas. It feels like they're worse for you. Actually, I really don't even drink mini sodas. Sprite occasionally, but never get ice. Never get ice when you go to a fast food restaurant or even a normal restaurant. A lot of them don't clean their ice trays. I learned that working in the fast food industry. And a lot of them will have mold up there. So your ice cubes coming out of kind of going through mold a lot of the time. Just a heads up. Some people don't know that. La Llorona stories? I'm not sure what that is. I have no idea. Root beer? No, not even root beer. I used to have that when I was a kid, but no, I probably burnt out on that. Has a beautiful scalp. I do have a beautiful scalp, and more of it's showing each time. I'm getting bald. It's National Beer Day. I don't have any beer. I'm not in the mood to drink tonight, so I'm gonna pass up on this beer day. Gonna go listen to some stories on Fear Urmaker. Right on, Milton. That's awesome. Thank you for dropping in and saying what's up. Bethany coming in with some support. I don't do a lot of social media, so if you're, so if you've answered this on social media, then oops. But what does your maker stand for? And you rock. LOL. Your maker was a name I came up with back on PlayStation 2 when I was playing SOCOM. Combined Assault? Might have been Combined Assault. And it would just say that you were killed by, and I figured your maker would be a pretty cool little tag, so that's where your maker came from. It originally was your maker 69. My channel name was your maker 69 up until I got about 15,000 subscribers, and then I ended up taking out the 69, and the rest is history. So yeah. CP Edwards. Oh, I have beer myself. Drink one for me. Drink one for me. What does the maker say? Or just that's what your maker says. Look at that. Give me hair. And that beautiful hair right there. Emily, thank you so much. You're awesome. Yeah, everyone supporting the channel, make sure you're keeping an eye out in the next video for huge thanks for everyone. Do I have fake legs? Don't start with that again. Yeah, don't start with that again. Yeah, Fear Urmaker might do a live stream sometime. I'm thinking he might do video games. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work. I'm not sure. Will I do a Draw My Life? No, unless I just draw stick figures. But that would take a really long time to, I don't know, hit all the significant things in my life, you know. Becca, just wanted to say hi. Hi, Becca. Thank you so much for dropping in and supporting the channel. And I'm glad you made it. I wasn't sure if anyone would even make it. It's like 9:25 at night. I was setting this up for like an hour trying to get the lighting and everything because I didn't want the lights right in my face. Every time I've been streaming, lights have been right in my face, so I look like a ghost the entire time. So I figured I'd try to set it up right. Fortunately, it wasn't too late for everyone. I figured it was a Friday night. Come in, have some fun, play some stories, listen to them together, And I was going to play a video game, but like I said, that didn't work out. Have I played D&D? Yeah, I have, like back in school, and I actually have buddies in town that want me to start going and play with them. But yeah, I have. Everyone is a ghost. What are my favorite types of stories? You know, that's a good question. I think my favorite types of stories are ones where people actually keep their cool and they don't panic, and they end up essentially kind of outsmarting their way out of the situation, actually using their instincts as opposed to just spazzing out and getting lucky. I don't know. I guess it's hard for a lot of people to have all their safety mechanisms, if you will, on a conditioned response. And I guess that's the hardest thing is, you got to get everything on an actual conditioned response. So that way, if an instance comes up, you're not having to think about it. Because once you start getting your adrenaline pumping, your mind is going to go crazy. You might want to think about one thing, but it's going to go somewhere else. So you actually have to have it somewhat trained, so that way you have that conditioned response. So CP Edwards again. Just 'cause I love you. Thank you so much. What made you do scary stories, and how did you start it? I started scary stories when I was working at the dental lab here in town, and the position I held, they highly recommended everyone put in headphones and listen to music. So after a long time of doing that, I got tired of listening to the same music on repeat. So I started looking up horror narrations and found myself on Beat Busta and Lazy Masquerade's channel. And then I think within 2 weeks or so, I listened to all the stories that were out there. So I figured I wasn't the only one with the issue. So I'd go home and start recording them on a cell phone in my car, sweating my ass off. And I used a broken tablet to read off of at the time. And I didn't really know anything about editing. Actually, I knew nothing about editing. So I'd try to do an entire story all in one take. And then it got to the point where I'd actually try to do it paragraph by paragraph, label them, put them together, and then slowly evolved from there. Eventually, I was able to go inside where there was air conditioning. That was a huge morale boost. And then I built I essentially had a chair with a blanket over it, and I sat in there to record to stop a lot of the echo. And then it's just been slowly grow what I can. I actually have a real mic now. Got a computer that can handle it. I was running on literally 1 gig of RAM. Like, the computer I have is probably the oldest thing I own. And it still works. It's out in my garage right now. So yeah, that's the story of how I got into it. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride. Been awesome. Elizabeth, can I donate from phone? Depends on the phone. I don't think iPhones or anything can. Androids can, as far as I know. But not on iPhones or anything yet. Take care, Panda Overlord. I see you, Nikki. What's up? Draw on cat whiskers. No. I'm not going to do that. Do you have a soundproof room? I don't have a soundproof room, but I do have a room that's pretty well. It's got the foam insulation, the acoustic pads in there that's pretty well sealed, but it's not soundproof. But it's definitely will kill down a lot of the reverb and the echo. I'm not sitting in that room right now because it's extremely small, and I don't want to feel claustrophobic right now. So I'm just sitting in my living room. Dragon says, my pup is finally sleeping. I should yell really loud just to wake it up. Nah, that'd be mean. Sims 3 forever, dude says, Urmaker, will you please do horrifying animal encounters? I would absolutely love to. There was a story of a guy who got attacked by a bear. And I saw it on Facebook, and I didn't know how to go about it to like ask him about it type of thing, but I definitely really want to. I think that would be a really different video, because animal attacks happen all the time, but at the same time, I'm not just going to go ask someone who's been through it, hey, can I do your story? And it's really not one a lot of people seem to write out too much. Do I watch Rob Dyke? Yes, I've watched Rob Dyke for years. Literally. Probably at least 3 years. Back before he even did any Seriously Strange or any of that. Back when he was strictly, pretty much, why would you put that on the internet? Can I do a Melon Head Stories video? I don't know what that is. I probably could if they were scary. Hydra, Android for the win. Yeah, Android. Thank you so much also for the support. That's awesome. It's weird that Android has it, but not iPhone. I mean, that's really weird that they have it like that. They must have it in for all you iPhone users. I like your ears. That's an odd compliment. I don't even have my earring in. Like, I pierced my ear when I was a lot younger. How old was I? I was like 12. I pierced my own ears. I didn't know what the whole apple or potato thing behind the ear was until I was holding it and I pierced it, and then I let go and it was in a weird ass spot. It was like, I don't know, it didn't look right. So then I actually grabbed a potato and popped it through there and using a sewing needle, and then just left it there. I walked around my house. My mom was at work. She worked so much, and her ex-husband, I don't know what the hell he was doing. And my sisters are just looking at me. I got a potato hanging from my ear, just walking around the house. I'm like, yeah, like my new earring. But it's still actually got a hole. Like I haven't put an earring in it in like a year or so, and it's still got the hole in there. So I also pierced my nipple at one point. That's a funny story. I'm going to say that one. So what was I doing? Again, I think I was like 13, 14 years old, and I was sitting in my room, and I was reading something about acupuncture or something. So then I was just like, I wonder if a needle will hurt in my head. And it didn't. Surprisingly, like if you pulled this, I was weird. I stapled myself in school. Like I'm weird, okay? But essentially I decided I wanted a pierced nipple. So I had a sewing needle in my hand, and I couldn't get a grip on it. Like it was just slipping, I was sweaty, nervous from it. So my fingers are slipping trying to push it in. So then I go grab a deodorant cap lid and use that to like push it, but it slips as it's going in. So it actually goes like in and then up at a weird ass angle. So I had to pull it back out, and then I redid it right there, like within 5 minutes. And I didn't have that's not even the worst part. I didn't even have God, I'm an idiot. I don't know if I want to say this. I was a stupid kid. We'll just put it that way. But I didn't have a ring to put through it, so I took a spiral notebook, how they have that metal. Yeah, I cut one of those loops. And this dude needs a timeout. I cut one of those loops out of the spiral notebook and actually forced that into my nipple. And about, I don't know, after like 2 or 3 days, it started hurting really bad. Didn't change color, it just started hurting really, really bad. So I took it out, and I haven't put anything in since then. But like occasionally on weird days, like my nipple's super sensitive. Like even just my shirt touching it'll hurt so bad. Yeah, random. But now I do have actual little skull piercings, so I'm debating if I want to go get it done the right way. But I still have that in the back of my head. Like, I don't know, dude. But yeah, there's some fun stories. What's my favorite genre of music? It would depend on my mood, but I'm definitely a fan of rap. It's got to be good rap. I don't know. Some gangster rap's alright, but for the most part, like they're dropping N-bombs all the time, talking about shooting people, drugs, all that. Yeah. I like people with a nice vocabulary, and it's more like poetry, So, most definitely. Real quick, I want to catch up and give a huge thank you to Hydra. Bet you Apple users wish you could do this. Thank you so much for your support. And Sims 3 Forever. The reason I ask is because I have a horrifying animal encounter myself, and I was wondering if I could email it. I would love for you to email me that, please. I was looking down there. My camera's right here. I would love to give that a once over and check it out. I'm definitely looking for some animal attack stories. So thank you very much. And Ches, that voice though. I don't even know what I sound like right now. I probably sound all weird. I have headphones that I'm supposed to probably like monitor myself. Ooh, I sound way in the distance. Ooh, I can hear background music. Wow, I wasn't sure if I could. It's super soft. It's super relaxing. But yeah, I'm not wearing my headphones. Let me move this. Why am I using that mouse? There we go. Yeah, lip piercing was something I never wanted. But I also heard that was one of the worst ones to actually do because you can hit something major in there. So that was the reason. Well, I never wanted it either, but I would have never tried that either. What up from Nebraska? What up? What's your real name? Say my name. My real name is Urmaker 69. Currently known by Urmaker. Real name, my friends call me Bobby. Bobby Boucher. And a lot of them do call me Bobby Boucher. Especially a family member every time. What's up, Bobby Boucher? What up, dude? What up? Am I going to do more stories like David King one? David King, I don't know who that is. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Typing this from Iowa. What up, Iowa? CP Edwards, I need to go, but I don't want to. Bye, Urmaker. You're amazing. Amazingly awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad you made it in. Sorry you have to go too, but I'm really glad you made it in. And huge thank you for the support. It's most definitely needed in this dire hour of YouTube shenanigans. Once again, at least this one's legit horrible. Usually the other ones I don't talk about. This one's pretty bad. Pretty bad. More Ouija stories, please. Yes, more Ouija stories are definitely going to be coming up. I'm still, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to try to merge my channels to figure out what's going on or try to keep them separated. I really don't know. I don't want to upset a certain part of my audience doing that. So, yeah. Can you please read Reddit stories? I did that a little while ago. As for right now, I'm not really going to do a live reading unless someone hits the reward, but I'm definitely open to playing another story from Urmaker because I know a lot of people don't listen over there, but some of them do. What up, Pew Bang Pew? You and Corpse are life. I appreciate that. Do I still upload gaming videos? I do not, but I'm going to start a gaming channel. And I'm probably going to start streaming like scary games on here. But I think that'd be fun, the scary game. Like I said, Friday the 13th will be coming out. I definitely want to stream that on here. Sims 3 forever. I'm not trying to be annoying, but what software do you use to make these scary videos? Because I was thinking of doing Scary Stories channel, and I was wondering what software you used. You can actually use pretty much any software. I originally started on Windows Movie Maker, but you only had like 2 lines to work with, so you'd put video and audio. And you couldn't add any music over your actual recording, so you'd have to pretty much essentially just go audio and then audio, output that, take that, and essentially just keep doing it. So you can use anything. Currently, I use Magic's Movie Creator. Let me look at the actual name. Magic's Movie Edit Pro. That's what I use currently. And that one works. You know, it's great, but definitely think that there are some other better ones out there. Most definitely. But you can use pretty much any of them. It's just all about having a will and a way. Thinking about getting a tat, what would you recommend? I recommend getting something that you want and means something to you. Even if you just like the design or something. Don't let other people dictate what you should get. Except I think I'm going to speak for Urmaker on this one. A giant Urmaker right across the forehead would probably be the dopest tattoo that anyone's ever seen in their lives. Ever. So if you happen to get that, tweet it, you know, but we'll just see. Amanda, hey Urmaker, do you like Pokemon? No, I do not. I've never really been into Pokemon. I remember when I was a kid, a buddy of mine was really into it, and we used to recycle cans to get the money for it, and we went there. But I didn't enjoy the movie, or the card games, or the video games, or the anime series. I'm not really a fan of anime. Lovely Bones, take care. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Would I think about horror camping stories? I absolutely would. It's just trying to get those is kind of hard at the same time because everyone, if you get them off of Reddit, everyone's rushing for them. If you do email, you got to make sure that it's actually a good one. But definitely on the lookout for him. Becca, notice me, senpai. I notice you, Becca. And you're definitely going to know I notice you because in my next video, you're getting an audio shout out at the end, and the credits is a very special thank you. Most of the other people, actually everyone today is, for the most part, is getting a little credit at the end that's going to go by text-wise. So far, you're the only one going to get an audio shout out. So you're definitely noticed, and you will be noticed again. Will I take fictional story submissions? I will take pretty much any scary story submission because I have 2 different channels, and like I said, they might merge at some point, but as of now, I'm open to any actually good scary story. Queen Bee came in trying to get some attention. Poor little Queen Bee. Too bad she doesn't know. I'm assuming it's a she. Could be a dude. But too bad they don't know that most of my stories are true stories. Karina, I was about to donate until I heard I don't like anime. Sorry. I keep it real, you know. That's just how it is. Some of my friends call me a dick, but I just like to be called honest. I'd prefer to show you how it is. Take care, Charles. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate you stopping by. Kalian, or probably Kalian? I'm going to butcher your name. Thank you. I appreciate you dropping in. Am I going to get a shout out in one of your videos? Would really love it. You get a shout out right now. What's up? I have perks set up for the people that are super chatting, since right now the channels could really use it. So I put a lot of people like to donate anyways, but it gives a little fun to it. You know, the $20 is an audio shout out. 5 gets you an actual little credit, special thanks. I've been doing that one when I go live and actually do my recording for the stories live and then editing. I'll do the same thing there. Romeo Asi. Bethany. So tempted to donate so I can Skype you. You know, I had to actually look too. I was like, I'm just going to make it a big number so I probably don't have to deal with it. Because I don't know much about Skype. This is probably my 4th time signed in. So I actually had to look up how to call someone if it came to that. So, yeah. Fuckface. Ass or titties, Urmaker. It just depends. Just depends if it's well taken care of or not. And also a big personality. Personality's got a... That was a weird sound. Personality's huge with me. Hydra. If your house is haunted, remember to charge the ghost rent. Nobody gets to live under my roof for free unless you're a dog or my girl. Or a guinea pig. Or a cat. Or your maker. Bethany. I don't even have a Skype, but I will. Yeah, I got mine right when... I actually didn't even have a private Facebook for the longest time. I deleted that a while ago. And then I had to have one. I set up a Urmaker one under a private, and I was just friending all of my subscribers. But then they got wind of that and wanted ID saying that I was actually named Urmaker, and that didn't work out. So, yeah, I ended up having to make pretty much a new everything for the most part, so... Had to take care of business. I hate coughing on cam, so I like to pause that because no one likes it. Urmaker6260. Yes, if you're trying to email a story, Urmaker6260@gmail.com. Kayo, I'm a cool guy. Nice. I'll take your word on that one. Hello from Los Angeles, California. Thank you, Javier. Glad you made it in. Username 159. Did you hear? Did you hear that creepypasta.com is being sold? Slime Beast uncovered it and posted a video about it. I did not, and I honestly didn't even know about creepypasta.com, honestly. That's probably pretty bad. I didn't know about that. That's crazy, though. It seems like a lot of people are just trying to sell their businesses. Sims 3 Forever coming in again with another donation. Is it easy to do live videos? Because I've thought of it, but I haven't done it, and I don't want to screw it up. Trial and error. If you have a computer that can handle it, then it's not going to be too bad. Just learn the OBS software. That's probably the hardest thing. But once you actually learn how it's moving, then you don't. It's not that bad. You're just pretty much choosing your scenes. Like, I can switch this up. I got drone footage that'll come on instead. I'm essentially got everything hooked up, so I can click a button and it'll just change it all. So if you have a computer that can do it, once you get it set up, it's actually not that hard. So hope that answers your question. Chezzy Deobo. Always tell the truth so that you can call me asshole. This is probably 3 minutes late. It's a little late, but no, that's how it is. Like, I'm a lot of people call it being a dick. I just call it being honest. I don't like the people that are fake and all my friends, they call me a funny dick, even though I'm not a dick. I'm just, if you're an idiot, I tell you, and you're an idiot. I don't have time to beat around the bush for people. It's just how I've been. I figure that's always the better way. I don't really have very many enemies either. So, not that I know of. Watch. Queen Bee, I'll unsubscribe you. You're gonna unsubscribe me? From who? Anyone playing Clash of Clans? Kayo. Yeah, I have some buddies that played that. I've never actually got into those games. It's hard for me to actually get into third-person view games for the most part. Especially if it's going to be like a fighting game. So Rainbow Six is a huge game for me. I play a lot of that. And go timeout. How do I find stories? I find stories through Reddit. I'll usually keep up on there and send out permission. Like, in fact, I just got one for permission tomorrow that I'll probably be putting out tomorrow. Or I go through my emails and try to go through there. The emails are a little spottier, those ones are like sometimes finding a diamond in the rough type of thing, because you get flooded with. I've had a handful of emails that are actually just, hey, tell this scary story. One time I was home alone and something happened and I was scared. Literally, I've had entire stories like that. So it almost like spams my inbox a little, so. But those are definitely my two main sources where I get my stories. I spent a small loan of $2,000 on Clash Royale. $2,000 on Clash Royale? I hope it was fake money. Holy crap. I hope that lasted forever and made you a god in the game if that's real money. Damn. Do a video about cringy stories. That horrifies me. Well, those ones, all those different ones, cringy ones, that'd be like cringy in a awkward way, like people projectile vomiting on each other. I don't know. Please meow. Meow. There you go. Joe Richmond. So do you have a job besides YouTube? At the time, at this second, no. In a week or two, I don't know. Like, I really don't know where we're sitting on YouTube. Why? I don't. It was nice not to think about it for a couple minutes. Yeah, no, I don't know what the hell is going on with YouTube. It's very worrisome. Very worrisome. So I'll probably end up having to go back working full time if this keeps up for definitely more than a couple weeks. So, Sims 3 Forever. I see you getting a shout out. I've been giving you shout outs for sure. Don't forget I don't know you. You've been helping. Don't sell your soul. No, I'm not going to sell my soul. No. I'm going to go sell something else. Catch me outside on the corner. How about that? I just took a big bite of food when he said vomit. Yeah, hopefully you didn't have no gag reflex triggered. So do you guys want to hear another Fear Your Maker story or what? Wait, what? I could pull one of those up. I don't know how many of... Well, I'm sure some of you. I know Fuckface, Lizzie, all of them. It's always so weird saying your name because I feel like I'm doing something bad if my mom's what. Thanks a lot for choosing that name, dude. And you gotta be cool on top of it, you know, so... Yeah, here's another little paranormal story. We can get this going. You guys can enjoy this. This is another one from my Fear Your Maker channel. So we'll go ahead and play this. Let me get it going. Pause this. Can't move myself. There we go.
Several years ago, my wife and I rented an upstairs apartment from one of my dad's acquaintances. The guy's elderly mother lived downstairs, so he thought it would be a good idea to have some young people around to help keep an eye on her. It was a huge apartment, and we were allowed to use the attic, so we did not have to pay for a storage unit to store all of our extra stuff. The guy gave us a great discount on the rent, because we kept his mom company. We also did odd jobs for her, such as mowing the lawn and taking out her garbage. Plus, there was a convenience store, as well as a video rental store, next to the house. We lived there several months before paranormal things started to happen. It began with footsteps in the hallway outside of our bedroom. The footsteps would pace back and forth down the long hallway. They were subtle for the most part, but since we had hardwood floors, the floorboards would creak very loudly once in a while. I would rush out of the bedroom, expecting a burglar or crazy homeless person, but no one was ever there. This happened every night without fail. Eventually, we would just lay there in bed frightened out of our minds as we listened to the ghostly footsteps. After several more months, the activity took a brand new behavior. The footsteps would now stop in front of the bedroom door for several moments before resuming their pacing. My ex-wife claimed that the doorknob would occasionally squeak as if someone was trying to turn it. I never personally heard the squeaking doorknob, but there was no reason for her to make it up. Luckily, the door never did open to reveal a ghost, or an intruder for that matter. One night, I got up at around 3 a.m. to use the bathroom when I saw a pair of translucent legs. There was nothing above the waist. Walked past the bed and straight into the hall. It startled me, but I tried my best to dismiss it as a hypnotic hallucination. These are visual hallucinations that people can sometimes have when they first wake up from a deep sleep. On another night, we ended up catching several creepy voices on a digital recorder with a male voice up in the attic telling us to leave it alone. We decided to move out after 2 years. We were carrying out the last of our stuff, and the old lady downstairs asked if we were moving out because of the ghost. We were silent, not knowing how to respond. Then she told us that her son had gone up there to perform some sort of makeshift exorcism before we first moved in. He had gone through all of the rooms with holy water while reading Bible verses. Obviously, it did not work, but I thought it was cool because it helped validate our paranormal experiences. Months after moving out, and through a bit of digging at the public library, we found out that there had once been a cemetery next to the house. In the 1850s, the townsfolk realized the cemetery had reached maximum capacity, so the graves were relocated to a more suitable site that could be expanded. Unfortunately, it was rumored that a few of the graves were left behind. More than a century later, the convenience store and video rental store were located directly on top of where the cemetery had once been. It was all reminiscent of the Poltergeist movie, with the buildings being placed on top of the graves that had been disrupted. I still wonder to this day if this ghostly activity was somehow related to the old cemetery that had once been near the house. Had the disturbed graves caused an uprest in the spirits? How can these spirits be appeased? All I know is that I sincerely wish these spirits peace. I am a 15-year-old female sophomore living in West Virginia, USA. I've always been close to my family and friends. Maybe that's why I have this odd sixth sense sort of thing. I never really noticed I had it until just before my great uncle had passed away due to a heart attack when I was in 7th grade. Just before a loved one dies, I go through a week of extreme anxiety, and during said time frame, I also feel beyond depressed. I'd cry and freak out about almost everything. My chest and stomach would get a weird tingly feeling too, that stays in that week. When my great uncle Doodle died, I just thought my 12-year-old mind was being its typical stupid self. I blamed the stomach and chest stuff on my chronic Lyme disease issues I've been dealing with since I was 6. It was when his wife, my great aunt Nancy, died a few months later that I started listening to my sense. About a week prior, that feeling came back. I shrugged it off and went about my business. The last time I ever saw and talked to her was a beautiful September evening. My "someone's gonna die" alert was going off like crazy that night. My parents, brother, and I had gone out to the store to get her a couple of groceries, since she was mostly blind and needed help with that sort of thing. We pulled into the driveway and handed her the shopping bag. She started talking away like she always did. I will never forget those last words I ever heard from her. "Every time I see you, you look more like my mother. You're such a beautiful young lady, and I don't ever want you to think you're not. I know you've got a bright future ahead. I love you, baby doll." We all said our goodnights and goodbyes, and my parents drove us home. That night, I couldn't get a single bit of sleep. I tossed and turned and stared at the ceiling for hours, until I just gave up. Sleep wasn't going to happen that night. I stayed up until about 10 minutes before I was supposed to wake up, drawing in my sketchbook and listening to music. I got ready for school and walked to the bus stop across the street from my grandmother's house, which is only 2 streets from my house. When I got there, the atmosphere just felt really off. I looked up the hill behind me, which is where my great aunt's house was. A wave of worry hit me so hard I thought I'd be sick. I turned back around to face the road to try to ignore it. That day at school was nothing but an anxiety attack and a half. I got home that day to my mom crying. That's when I received the news of Nancy's passing. She was found in the shed that morning beneath supplies in it. I went to my room and cried until my eyes ran dry. That weird feeling went away. I had always been super close to Nancy, which is why it was her that I saw about 2 weeks back. That feeling is back, but I don't know who's next. I was in bed and just reached the state of finally getting into a comfortable position to sleep. I was lying on my right side, facing the wall, when I felt a part of the bed by my legs sink in like someone was sitting on it. I looked at it, but there was nothing there but a freezing cold sunken spot. Then I saw her. She was sort of transparent, with a dim golden glow around her. I looked at Nancy in awe. She looked at me with her seafoam green eyes and smiled at me. Then she faded. I began to cry until I eventually cried myself to sleep. I told my parents, but they thought I was either nuts or dreaming. That was expected, honestly. I then went to my grandmother's for breakfast before school and told her. She froze and asked, "You get those feelings too?" I told her that I did. She sighed and told me that a couple hours before her death, she smells roses. She smelt them very strongly the morning they found Nancy and the evening they found Doodle. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's kind of creepy. I want to know more about this, but I don't want to look like someone who's got a few screws loose upstairs. Since that feeling is back currently, I've been keeping a close watch on everyone I love. I don't know who death's next victim will be. I'm not sure I want to know.
So yeah, that would be pretty crazy if you were sensing that kind of thing. I'd be always worried about my family and friends. What's up for everyone who just joined? And what's up again for the people that have been here? Devin, please don't delete video. I don't know. We'll play this one by ear. We'll play this by ear. Probably leave it up, but Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm muted again. Thank you. Yeah, I have a horrible thing with muting. Ah, my goodness, I'm so bad with that. Yeah, don't be afraid to spam that. I do that like all the time. It's so stupid. But yes, this is America. Someone asked if this was America. This is Arizona, Lake Havasu City. That was the Colorado River that you saw over there leading in to the actual lake right here. But what I was going to say is, I don't know if it's going to pan over there. Like, you'll actually see the city over here. There's going to be an island and whatnot. And way out over this way. Sorry, I was reading the chat at the same time, got distracted. But way out over here at a place called Sarah Park, they've been finding a whole bunch of dead bodies. It's been crazy. I think 2 or 3 in the past week. And then if you take the highway out of town and go way over to by the freeway, pretty much past those mountains way over there, if you do that, they've been finding a couple of dead bodies over there too. Those ones they think are homeless people living in a community that have just passed away. But it's been crazy. A lot of people going missing and then found dead, the hikers, and it's been insane. Victoria, hi Urmaker, found you through Corpse, and I love your videos so much. Thank you for all the effort you put into them. I heard YouTube is being an idiot at the moment, so I hope this helps. That does help. Thank you very much. YouTube is being very much so idiotic, and it really does help support the channel. Gets a little of that sick feeling out of my stomach. I've been stressing to my wife. She's the one telling me to calm down, and I'm like, you can't calm down when something like that. But it helps a lot. Thank you so much. And Catherine Ostergaard, thank you as well. Both of you guys, make sure you keep an eye out for your special little thank you in my next video. I like to swim there. Swim where? Did I miss that part of the conversation? In the lake? Maybe. Alexis, I never get ads anymore. Yeah, me neither. It says all my ads are supposed to be on there, and they're not. And yeah, it seems like for the first 12 hours or so they stay kind of up there, but I don't even know that even that's crazy. I know B Busta uploaded a video, and it seems like within 6 hours his ads were gone. I mean, trying to keep tabs on everyone, and it seems like it's everyone, Corpse, Eden, everyone's getting affected. I don't know what it is. Originally we thought it was, I was hearing it was tags, maybe something along those lines, so I changed all of my tags, got rid of a lot of. Yeah, the stream you're probably going to see an ad for, because the stream isn't necessarily a video. It's something that I think is triggering a little later on. That's why they were saying it was tags, description, something. So I've actually edited out a lot of the cursing in my stories, changed the tags, made sure the thumbnails aren't crazy, made sure the stories aren't crazy. And yeah, it's not helping. It's not helping. So I don't know, like, it's literally dire situations for, as in being able to continue doing this like we do. It's probably going to get to the point, unless they fix it, that a lot of us will have to go back full time, and this will go back to being a hobby. So very rare uploads type of thing. Hopefully they figure it all out. I don't know. They don't know. No one knows. Lake Havasu. Yep, Lake Havasu. Can refer to me as Uncle Spooks. I guess you can. I guess I don't mind what people refer to me as. Eden, hug. I'm so worried about us. I don't think we have to censor all this nonsense. And I don't think censoring's even helping. I've tried doing that, and it's not. Like, I don't know if you were in when I was saying, but I've actually talked to someone on the YouTube support team. Well, more the creator support. I'm in the Creator Academy. I go to a lot of their online courses and whatnot. And I talked to him on the phone. First, I sent him an email letting him know something's really bad, and I'm really scared. I don't know what's happening because I was panicking. And he's all, call me tomorrow, or I'll call you tomorrow. And he called me. I told him what was going on. He went through my analytics, and he sees the same thing that's going on with me, and he doesn't know what the issue is. And I explained that it's been going on to a lot of us within the community, and he said he'd at least pass a ticket on. And then the next day, again, it was just horrible. And pretty much his only recommendations were, since I've pretty much kept up on all the actual getting anything bad out of the tags, anything like that, he even went through and he said there's no reason that I shouldn't be having them. So he told me to try taking my video. If I noticed the ads turn off, he did warn me I'd lose the views, but make it unlisted, take that video and then like edit it, remove a second or something out of that, and then re-upload the video. But I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know if I want to do that. I think my better option would be, this is kind of what I'm in my mind with, just do single stories per video as opposed to, 3, 4, whatever. Just do single stories and upload them every few hours, because your ads are going to turn off at some certain point for something. I'm actually debating on taking my new videos and just put untitled, and in the description, no description, and in the tags, no tags, just to see if it throws anything off, and just write a story about a tomato or something, a tomato growing out of the ground, just to see what it's doing. But I don't know. You attend those courses too, Eden. It's freaking about my channel. Get attacked when sudden influx dislikes. Oh, wow. That's crazy, Eden. I didn't know you're getting attacked like that. Wow. Was it through the classes? That's crazy. Yeah, I've noticed a increase in my dislikes, but that's usually when I get to the audience outside of my subscribers. Like with my longer videos, those hit more people. So, no, I'm not going to say your name. You can dare me to say your name all you want. I'm not going to say that. I have a question. Do you get a cut from the people who have YouTube Red? Yes, we do. The YouTube Red isn't being affected at all because no advertisements show up on that. So that's split up more of like how much you watch of a certain person's video. Like my really long compilation video, usually that does great ad-wise and then okay YouTube Red-wise just because of the length. But it's actually getting to the point where my YouTube Red's outdoing my AdSense, which is really crazy and concerning. And it's not like they're going up at all. No, it's just, yeah. What up, Lewis? Glad you made it in. Do you go to the poker runs? No, I do not. I do play poker, Texas Hold'em, Omaha High-Low, but I don't do any poker runs or any of that stuff. How is my day going? My day's not going too bad. Went out, ran errands. Went and tried to get a loan. Yeah. But actually my wife too, she's got a rubber band on her teeth, so she's the one not doing very well. With her braces, they ended up, I guess they got to reline her jaw, so they took a rubber band and now it's intertwined in her braces. So now she can't open her mouth like farther than that. So now I can just make her really mad and she can't yell at me. But no, things have been going good today. Been getting out of the house, trying to get some fresh air. It's getting warm here. It was almost 100 degrees outside. It's really nice. Really nice. Kyle, I need me a shout out because I've been listening since day one. Also, my girlfriend and I need more pizza delivery stories. I think we all need more pizza delivery stories. I really think we do. I love those stories too. I think the last one I had was off of Reddit. Reddit's where I get a lot of those ones. Moosin, happy late birthday. Just turned 21. Damn. Watch out for those hangovers. Carissa, freaking snowed today. Holy moly. Yeah, that's the perks about Arizona here. We get a lot of what we call snowbirds. So we get a lot of the people that have to live in the snow, Wyoming, even a lot of Canadians. They all come down here because it stays warm. Like our winters 60, sometimes mid 50s. One year it snowed, and that was pretty crazy. I had a mini snowman. It was a little tiny snowman. I put it out on my balcony. That was pretty funny. Can I send you my Lechuza story also? Send me one. Yeah, you can go and definitely send me any of your scary stories. Send you my Lechuza story. Yes, most definitely. I figured it was just a mistyping. No big deal. I knew what you meant. You're in Florida, so you know about snowbirds. Yep. Yeah, it gets crazy. Especially going out in traffic. I've had so many people damn near run me off the road. It's crazy. Sierra M, how can I donate with an iPhone? I don't think you can donate with an iPhone. I don't even know if you guys have like a go into desktop mode type of thing, but yeah, they haven't updated that. Yeah, Eden, we'll definitely have to team up and do a stream. It's been a long time since we've all teamed up. We don't even chat that much anymore. Everyone's been so crazy doing their own things now, you know? Do you read every story that people send to you? No, I can't say I've read every story, but I do read at least 95 to 99 percentage. I have my wife go through and help me just because it's so overwhelming sometimes. So she'll find the stories that aren't the one sentence stories that I was telling you about earlier, and she'll be like, "Hey, here's a good one. Make sure you go through and read it." Or she helps me out a little because it gets really hard trying to go through all the emails and everything. Yeah, I know everyone's been real busy, and you having to work at the job, and now with all this stuff coming on, it's gonna look like it's gonna get even harder to go full time for you, or for us to stay full time. It's crazy. Oh, my drone crashed. Did it finally get to that part? Did it re-loop? Yeah, my drone crashed. I crashed the shit out of that thing. I broke all the propellers and everything. Yeah, so out there where the bodies were found, out that way. And that was the Colorado River coming in. Fear Your Maker has a better voice. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Since you worked at McDonald's, can you tell me what's in their nuggets? I can tell you their new nuggets are different from when I worked there, but it wasn't all chicken. Even when they came out with the popcorn chicken or whatever, what was it that they were? It's like the popcorn chicken stuff. Like I remember getting the big old boxes where you got to actually go get the bags out, and it would say contains up to 20% of an unknown substance. Literally said unknown substance on there. Whether they've changed or not, I don't know, but I always thought that. I even brought that box around to everyone else. I was like, holy crap, did you guys read this? But yeah. I would definitely, now I really do like their chicken nuggets, and you could always tell with the chicken nuggets if you bit them open, they had a weird texture to them. You could almost like jelly. You could actually pick them apart and dissect them. They weren't quite as stringy as actual chicken, but yeah, I would think the best thing to get from McDonald's, order everything without salt, for sure. If you want a burger, ask no salt, because then they're going to restart. They're going to make it completely fresh, because every patty is salted when it comes off the grill. So anything you ask no salt, they have to redo. Same with fries, and then you can just ask for salt packets and do it all. That's how you get the fresh food. But I mean, it just all depends on where you're at, if people are doing their jobs properly. Like I've seen a lot of people not do their job. Scary story. I worked with a dude at the last McDonald's I worked at. I've worked at a few different ones. The first one was in Oregon. That was my very first job. And the next one was after I got out of the Army. I worked at one in California. And I worked there for a little while. I ended up just quitting there. And then the last one was another one in Oregon, a different city. And the dude there he later admitted it to everyone. It was HIV positive, and he would not wear gloves on his hands. And dude was a tweaker and had messed up hands. Like his hands would just be mangled, cut. And he was making people's foods. And yeah, we brought that up to them, and yeah, that didn't go anywhere. That's why I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust a lot of fast food. You don't know what's going on back there anymore. Inferno, going to bed. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. You're driving 6 hours. Hopefully you get some rest before then. Don't drive tired. That's horrible. I couldn't fire him. Otherwise, I would have fired him. He did get fired not long after, and not for that reason. Yes, that is disgusting. That's extremely disgusting. Horrors of fast food. I don't know. I was one of the people that, like, you always had to print stickers of when stuff would go bad. People would do that like once a day. Like, it says replace this at 4 o'clock. I'd go by at 6 o'clock and nothing's replaced. No new stickers or anything. It says right there it's expired. I was literally the only one at that store that would go through and cycle everything, and I'd just throw it away. You know, if you're doing your job right, you're not throwing much away. And they would just bitch about waste. I'm like, I'm not feeding people nasty food. But yeah. Did you put in a complaint or no? I'm not going to say. Yes, I did, but wasn't going to say because I probably have some of my old friends. But yeah, that's just something, man, you can't mess with people's food. You know, that's a whole nother thing. They're trusting you at that point. Like, the only thing I've ever done to mess with someone's food was a coworker, and he got to make double, and I took some of the M&M minis and put it on his burger. Or no, someone else got to make chicken, and I took 3 chicken nuggets and put those on there. It's one of my other buddies. Yeah. Another funny story was actually when I worked at that same McDonald's with a different group of people. They were younger. There was one chick there. She was younger. I think she was 17, just about to turn 18. And then I had another buddy just turned 18 or something like that. And really cool dude, sweetheart. But he just had an issue with talking to girls. So we were both working online together, and we were making a fish fillet because the girl was a vegetarian or vegan. I think vegetarian, but she'd eat fish. She said fish didn't have feelings or something, didn't feel pain. I was like, yeah, they do. Anyways, she got a fish fillet, and I look over at him, and he didn't know what I was doing. I asked him what his phone number was. He told me, and I wrote it down, put it on a ticket, put it in her sandwich, and threw it up there, and she took it, and they're actually engaged now. Years later, they actually ended up getting together, engaged, if not married now. Pretty crazy. Should have put some Pop Rocks on it. If I would have had some Pop Rocks, I probably would have. No, I try not to screw with people too bad. Yeah, fish have feelings. I used to have an Oscar that's pretty close to a piranha. They say with a piranha, you know, you put your hand in and it'll take a second to eat the flesh off down to the bone. But with an Oscar, it takes 10 seconds. They're actually meat eaters. So I actually have a whole bunch of goldfish feeders that I'd put in the tank with him. And it's cool. You just like suck him up into his mouth, and then you just like see everything squish, and his gills go. And then all of a sudden you see the gills come out, and you just see little scales flying out from the goldfish. It's pretty crazy. But they're actually really cool. Like they'll get to recognize you. They'll come up to the tank and actually just chill there, and they'll play with ping pong balls, come up out of the water, take the food. It's pretty crazy. Fish feel good in my belly. I love fish too. Ever since I was a kid, I used to go diving for urchins and go salmon fishing out in the ocean. Abalone. I haven't had abalone in forever. Oh my God. Last I heard, they were having some issues with abalone out off the coast of Cali. What up, Terry Long? What up? 3 to gun. I'm drunk, but I subscribed. I appreciate it. Welcome, drunk sir. Or ma'am. Yeah, eating abalone is amazing. Just gotta beat the crap out of it forever. The best thing is like actually catching them, because you actually gotta come up stealthy on them with you get like a bar. It's, I don't know, probably about like that. And it's just pretty much a long piece of metal, really thin. And you gotta sneak up behind them because they're solid muscle. They're essentially just a shell, and then inside is just all solid muscle. So if they see you, they're just gonna suck to that rock, and you are not getting them off. But if you sneak over and you pop them off just perfect, you can put them on their wetsuit, and they'll just suck onto your wetsuit, and you just swim around and go get more. Pretty cool. How goes it, Riano? Never been a fish fan. My wife isn't much of a fish fan either. I'm all about seafood. All about it. Take care, Moosin. Got any stories tonight, bro? We're playing a few from my Urmaker, But as for news stories, I'm not going to read any. I mean, unless someone did the super chat for the amount to do it. But I will have new stories coming out soon. I just got permission from one of the stories on Reddit. Hopefully it's not going to be a repeat. That's the crazy thing about everyone uploading at different times. It's always like a race. Last time Lazy beat me by like 2 hours. I was like, no. But it is what it is. Do I like sushi? I do. I do like sushi. Yeah, prawns. I actually have prawns in my freezer right now. Yeah, gotta beat your meat, especially that abalone meat. Gotta beat that. Favorite story? The one from Northern California with the pot farmer probably definitely be one of my favorites. Take care, Kyle. I appreciate that. And I hope you have a good night. Thanks for dropping in, and I appreciate all your support. What's the background on here? The background is actually just the drone of the city still. I have it on loop right now. Pretty much my static image. I need to go get more, but it's been so windy lately. It's hard to get the drone out. But I even have a nighttime, like, oh, I could actually probably add that one too. Yeah, let's add that. Let me add a me skateboarding at night. This is one I also put in my videos every now and then, but I edit it down because you're going to see the spots where, like, because it was like 2 in the morning and I'll preface this. Actually, it might even have my actual audio still. That would be even funny. It was 2 in the morning or something like that. And I was like, I'm going to go to the store and get an energy drink. Where is it? I know I got it here somewhere. Skateboard at night. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be some audio to this because normally when I add this into a video, I take out this beginning part where my skateboard messed up. But I'm not. I'm just going to leave it in here. But loop that. Is this that one? Okay. So it looks like we got it hooked up. Got my mic going. Okay, it doesn't sound like it's actually playing audio. Okay, essentially what was happening here was I was riding my skateboard at 2 in the morning. I have an electric skateboard and I have lights on it and everything. And that's my bright ass flashlight that you see right there because I need another one. Always wear my helmet because right now I'm on a bicycle path. And this skateboard gets up to like 20 miles an hour, if not faster. And like, it's funny watching this. Like I was just like, okay, I'm going to go down there. And what you see is right there pretty much what I saw. I could not see a thing. What up, Dominique? What up? What is this? This is me skateboarding really late. I think it's slowed. Did I slow it down? Yeah, I even tried to. Damn. I was trying to hold it because I didn't actually have a mount, so I was taking a little selfie stick. I'm like, maybe I can hold this. But, didn't work. Have I ever done any work with Darkness Prevails? I might have. I can't really remember. Like, I've worked with a lot of people. Names, I've definitely chatted with them. This isn't an unwatered lawn. This is by the side of the highway. Here, let me turn my cam on so you can see real quick. Actually, let me just move this down. Yeah, this is all on the side of a freeway. Okay, yeah, that's the highway right there. And this is all just a bike path, so that's not anyone's yards. Raphael V coming in with a $20 donation. Thank you so much, Raphael. You are awesome. And another, holy crap, man. You are so awesome. Thank you so much. 220. What did I have that? Definitely getting an audio shout out. That's for sure. Make sure you check my next video. You're getting an audio shout out in the credits. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Andrew, if I donate 100, do I get a response? I try to respond even without money, but yeah, you definitely get a response with 100. $1. Becca, I see you with $2. I love listening to your stories while I draw. Shit, even $2 you get a response. It's just the super chats make it easier. It pops it up. I try to, even people not putting money in, I try to chat with everyone because not everyone can afford it, or even they don't want to put their card online. What's your Alexis? Alexis Kess. Oh, okay. And you're talking to each other. I was like, what? When does the stream end? The stream ends when I press the button that says stop stream. As for that, I don't really know. It was so dark. Like, what you see is pretty much all I saw. I remember, and then, like, it was weird because every segment, because we have washes here. So when a storm comes, you have all the water coming down, and it takes all the dirt off of everything and just puts it across the path. So as I'm going at like 2 in the morning, holding my flashlight, and I have a little light on the front. What up, Andrew? Thank you very much for the support. I see you. I see you, Andrew. Rich Wine. Thank you very much. But yeah, as you can see, it's dark as hell. Like, I think right there I ended up having to bail off because there was a whole bunch of dirt. And I'm going like 20 miles an hour. I'm booking it. I shouldn't have been going that fast, but I'm booking it. And ended up eating it. Actually, I never ate it. I had to bail out a couple times, and my light broke off right here. I think that's what I was looking for, one of my lights. Okay. But I'm one of those people that...
Okay.
Why are you going to walk
my light
in
broke.
the morning? That's only crazy.
My light broke. Alright, well, I still got this. Like, it's working, right?
Nice and peaceful.
Got that going.
No, I want to give a huge thank to Raphael.
Pop that off, I guess.
Seriously, coming through crutch. Coming through crutch. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. It looks like a lost video. Yeah. Yeah, that's that one. I'll swallow your soul. Are you serious? I'll swallow your soul. Dropping $100 donation. Wow. That is literally my biggest donation. Thank you so much. Or, I don't know. And you didn't even say anything either. How do you not say anything? You're crazy. Oh my God. That is crazy. Looks like I'm gonna read a new story live. Looks like that's what that means. Okay. Wow. Didn't even say anything either. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I didn't even want to read the story live. It looks like... Oh, it's overpowering. Yeah, switch songs. What the hell was that? It just turned on the audio all of a sudden. Thank you so much. That is crazy. I don't know if you could hear me, but wow. Holy crap. Yeah, it looks like I'm reading a new story. Yeah, that audio was my skateboard. I don't know why it just randomly turned on like that. That's so crazy. You guys should be able to hear me now, yeah? And yeah, we all deaf now. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's the electric skateboard. Wow. That is crazy. Wow. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. That's crazy. I'm like broken. I'm just like, I need to be looking for a story, but I'm like broken. Okay, well, I don't know what story I should do. I got a couple that I haven't recorded. That's for sure. I'll have to figure out the background tunes too. I did not expect that. That's crazy. Okay, I got, this one's almost kidnapped. See, I think I read that one in the video at one point. That's why I didn't. Wow, that's still super crazy. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I got actually kind of quite a few stories. I don't know how great everyone... I got an alien story. I got creature stories. Probably go with something for Urmaker themed. Let's go... Wrong place to get high. We can do this one probably. Holy shit, I don't know. That's gonna take like 10 years. Old man kidnaps me. This one might work. Let me get the spacing on this. It makes it a little easier when it's not right up on itself. This one's a nice little longer one too. Okay. Oh. And if this video goes up, I have to notify them because they want to be notified. That's still so insane. Wow. I'm still in shock. Oh, wow. Okay, so, That's crazy. Thank you so much, man. What am I going to do for tunes? I got to turn something on for tunes real quick. Let me get into my video needs. I don't know how long this one's going to be, but... Okay, let's... Pause this. Oops, that's the wrong one, I think. My computer's wanting to run all slow. That's still so crazy. Wow. That's 8 minutes. Trying to find a longer tune. That way I'm not having just some random music in the background. Something at least kind of creepy-ish. Okay, that's 12 minutes, so try to get this one. Careful your ears. Hopefully it's not too loud right off the bat. Before I can turn it down. It'll hurry up and load. Come on, boy. Okay. We'll have to try to make sure the volume's going to be decent. I'm not really sure. Looks like it's wicked low. So let me turn it up some. And then we'll get to going on a story. Oh, watch it turn up really loud all of a sudden, too. Okay. Can you guys actually hear the background music? Here, let's turn this on. Really quiet. Alright, that sounds decent. I guess I could just wear my headphones while I do this. I'm kind of used to it. These are weird headphones. Alright. I guess we'll go ahead and do a story. And real quick, let me... Everyone, huge thank you to I'll Swallow Your Soul for having me read a story. In fact, let me put my pop filter on. Probably that way I'm not right up on it necessarily. You know, I'm actually gonna... Alright, we're gonna do this thing. Actually, let me get some water. The story is called Old Man Kidnaps Me. Move that. Thinks I am the reincarnation of his dead wife. It was submitted by Sweet Talker, Sweet Talker. On a rainy night, in the era before cell phones, I was 18, walking a very long way home from work, and I foolishly accepted a ride home from a strange man. Small town girl living in her lonely world, and I had just gotten off a double shift. He was elderly, acted genuinely concerned for me, and I saw a Bible in the back seat. Probably safe, right? The car was old and broken down, and he had to get out to open the door for me. It took him a while as he had trouble walking with a bum leg. He told me the passenger door didn't open from the inside. I immediately felt weird, but years of nice girl training told me he's gone through so much trouble. Don't say no. We chatted for a while, and he politely complimented my uniform, my hair, and told me I looked like his late wife, and that her spirit must have led him to help me get home. It sounded very sweet the way he told it. The conversation turned to if I was still in school, what my hobbies were like, and gradually turned to whether or not I was on my period, which was rude, but he acted like it was going to be the punchline of a joke. So I laughingly asked him why. He would want to know. He said very calmly, "Because if you're fertile, we should start trying to have a family right now." Oh shit. He said, "Thank God." Let me scroll down. He said that God had kept him lonely for years, but now, because I looked so much like his late wife, It was clear I was meant to be his, so he could start his life over again, and finally have lots of children like his wife was unable to do. He grabbed my hand and kissed it, and said, "I can't wait to show you our new bed." I told him I forgot something at work. He told me I could get it tomorrow. I told him I needed to pee, and he said I could hold it until we got home. He wasn't going to let me out. How bad would it be if I was muted this whole time? He kept talking about how things were different back then, and how men are the head of the household, that women are to follow their fathers and their husbands, and God says this, and God says that. He talked about his wedding day, how his wife's father had given her to him. So I blurted out, you're going to get my father's permission to marry me before taking me home, right? God would want that, right? You need to do that, because otherwise you would be living in sin, and the marriage bed is not holy. Which I remembered from many, many, many days of church sermons. He got offended then, and said he knew the Bible better than I did, and of course he knew to ask for my father's permission. I told him that we couldn't live together in sin, and we should go to my house before going home. And I reminded him that the street wasn't far. Still trying to keep the conversation light and joking, I told him that's what a godly man would do. And he wholeheartedly agreed. Then we got to the street where I had previously told him I lived. He asked which house was with my parents. I gave him a fake house number, far away from mine, and had him drop me off there. He wanted to come inside. I told him I needed to let my parents know about God sending me a husband before he could meet them. I said it would take a few days. Come back tomorrow. And he said, I'll give you a few minutes, but then we need to be on our way. I told him to drive around the block so I could have time to pack my clothes. He nodded and finally opened the car door. I ran to the house's door, waved to him until he drove away, then sprinted into my house, where I lived alone. I double bolted my door and put the couch in front of it that night. Never saw him again. I did not call the police, though. I wish I had. I moved in with my boyfriend a few days later, and I insisted on waiting at work until he could pick me up every night. Damn. That's why you don't take rides from strangers, even older people, because you never know what their intentions are. And I was expecting it to come into play with his bum leg. Him that all had been an act, and actually it come down to where he was chasing her just fine. It was just a ploy or something. But I guess I was pleasantly surprised with that. It didn't take the twist that I thought it would. Crazy. Yeah, and that's the bad thing too, is you actually have some good people that are out there that legitimately want to help. But then you get those people that are not in for the best reasons. So yeah, be very careful if hitchhiking, most definitely. Let me check my... Okay, had to make sure my desktop isn't too loud. There we go. This is why I would have a weapon on me. Most definitely, yeah. If you're hitchhiking, definitely... And that's the thing now, even if... And there's a flip side to that, too. Like, if you were picking up someone with a hitchhike, and now they have a weapon on them. Like, everyone's made it so it's really hard to even trust anyone. So unless you're pretty much guaranteed you're not going to die, which isn't going to happen, you're taking that risk. But that's just where it comes down to what you're doing. And taser would be a good idea. Yes, taser would be an amazing idea. But I know a big old knife, yeah, I'm probably not picking you up at that point. But I've also had a lot of friends that have had no issues doing it too. So it really comes down to who you are, who you get in the car with. Like, you're never going to really know. It's a gamble. They could seem like the nicest person, but no. zombie story, please. I don't have any zombie stories. Especially not true ones. Becca, I gotta go. I had fun. Good night, everyone. Take care, Becca. Thank you for dropping in. I'm glad you made it. It really means a lot. And I hope you get some rest. I know it's getting late. Let me move this now. Whoop. The guy most likely had some mental issues. See, and that, it could be legitimate mental issues, or it could be like a coping. Like when I hate bringing this up, but when my daughter passed away, the day after, yeah, my ex-wife was in my daughter's room, like petting, I don't know, like it was petting the air, but she was saying that my daughter was there. Like it was really weird. Like I legit think she lost it, and like I ended up bringing her to the hospital. Well, I had someone else bring us to the hospital because I didn't have a car, and like to the extent she made me put a car seat in, and like I'm still breaking down because the day before our daughter passed away, and the mind's crazy. He could have just been trying to cope. That's what I'm getting at. It doesn't necessarily mean something crazy, but yeah. Hydra, would you like a ride? Make sure I'll ride on top of the car if you don't mind. Yeah, that would be the best way. That, or if you have a truck, hop in the bed of the truck. Someone asks, do I smoke grass now? It's a great way to cope with emotional problems. I don't smoke grass to cope with my emotional problems. I smoke it more for my back. Like, as time goes, it's easier to talk about, you know? Like, I can talk about it now without crying. And, like, it's... I don't know. I have my time, like... hard to explain, you know? Like any other person, you have those times where it's just really hard, but you learn to be able to at least talk about things. Plus, talking about it keeps them alive, so... I'm always down to share some stories and experiences, for sure. A butterfly knife and a switchblade. What is a switchblade? That might be illegal here? I'm not sure. Someone asked what time is it? It's 10:43 p.m. my time. Alexis, I see you. Yeah, I'll get you a shout out. What's up, Alexis? Oh, Castor, because right under I see another Alexis. That way you know it's you, Castor. Dominique, I'm not going to answer that. And I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah, you saw the video of my daughter. Yeah, that was a tough video to do. Like, I think the hardest part for me was writing it out. Like, I actually wrote it all out in I have a little book, and I wrote it all out in my book. And man, I cried so much. Like, you could actually see teardrops writing it. And like, I tried to write it so that way I could distance myself, because I didn't want to start crying, because like, who's gonna listen to something crying? So I tried to read it like any other story, like take myself out of it type of thing. So I've debated on redoing it, you know, just sitting like this, turn the cam on, and just do it just so it has that actual emotional connection, you know, but at the same time, it's there, it's a nice warning. So Hydra, I have a truck, and if it's late at night, I'll give people rides, but they have to ride in the flatbed. I always keep an empty box in my back seat just so I can say there's no space in the car. Very smart idea, very smart. You wouldn't even need to, if you have space in the car, who cares? I'd be like, yeah, you want to ride in the back or not ride at all? But I actually used to pick up hitchhikers, like in Cali and whatnot. I'd always pick up hitchhikers and all that stuff. Yeah, I might do it another time. Not right now, definitely, but that would be, yeah. Is the story on Urmaker or Fear? It's on Urmaker, and it's titled The Day My Daughter Died. See you later, Nikki. Thanks for dropping in. Start the damn story, says Brian. I just did a story. Where you been, Brian? Did you just get here? Can I get a hey, bud? Hey, bud. Zach. Yes, the box also does provide an excuse in the passenger seat. Absolutely. Evil, my daughter, back in 2007. 2008. Yeah, 2008. Damn. I don't know why it sounded wrong. I knew it. Yeah, it's getting late. What time did I start the stream? I started the stream at like 9, I think. Anyone else have Pacific time zone? I'm kind of in Pacific time zone right now just because we're sharing it. Where I'm at in Arizona, we don't switch time zones. So we'll either be with Cali or an hour in front. So it's pretty cool. What up, Lizeth? I see you. Shout out. Dominique, WWE, Raw, or SmackDown? Neither. I stopped watching those when I started getting older and realized it was fake. I mean, obviously their athleticism's real, but yeah, I want to see real people beat the crap out of each other and do those high jumps off the wall. Stone Cold Stunner. Man, Stone Cold was the shit. I remember when he came out. Whew. Yeah, I always try to read comments, Hydra, when I can. If the chat's not going too crazy, it makes it a little easier, you know. But Sting. Yeah, I remember watching Sting. What was it? WCW when he got the tombstones smacked on him or whatever. Man, that was back when I still believed in this stuff too. I was like, that's vicious. That guy's a beast. And it's like, no, it's probably just a really soft, really soft piece of whatever it was. We'll go back to fire. Let's go back to fire and get me on fire. There we go. Back in the fire. I have a mouse over here on a stool. That's what you're hearing, the little. Because anytime I move my computer, you see my whole camera shake. So I'm actually on my laptop. Ooh, the fire. Hiana, my cat died. My first pet ever. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. Animals. It's crazy how animals can actually become part of your family. It's but at least as long as you know you gave them a good life, you know, and did everything you could, take some happiness out of that. A lot of pets aren't so lucky. The Undertaker and Kane. I remember when Kane was still never saw his face. Yeah. Oh my God, you're lit. Yes, I am. Hey, look, it's my mixtape. You wish, dude. You ain't got no mixtape like this. Well, do you guys want to hear a couple or another Fear Your Maker thing? Right. I'm sure people do. Wonder how many people. Nah, we'll wait on the Lechuza because if that was a new one, people can go check that out. Oh, we got shadow figures. Horrifying. Have any of you ever actually had sleep paralysis? I've never actually had that. I always figured it'd be really crazy. Like, that would be horrible. Well, I don't know if it'd be horrible. Maybe if you knew that you were dreaming or in sleep paralysis, it wouldn't be too bad. But if you didn't know, that would be pretty gnarly. What's the difference between Your Maker and Fear Your Maker? Fear Your Maker is more paranormal, creepypastas, all that, and Your Maker is more for the true stories. But they might end up merging at some point. I don't know. I'm still playing with ideas on how to work with things right now, but who knows? Everything can stay the same, especially if we can remain self-sufficient within the community. Then nothing's gonna change. But essentially, Fear Your Maker's got all the paranormal, sleep paralysis, all that other stuff. Alien story. I don't even know if I have any other aliens. This guy talks too much. That's the whole reason you're sitting here, dude. Of course I'm talking. Yes, I have plenty of time. Okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to play sleep paralysis scary story. This was one that I put up on Fear Your Maker. And it'll be if any of you don't know what it is, sleep paralysis is essentially when you go into REM or any sleep where you're dreaming. I think you only dream in REM sleep. But when you go into that, your body actually is supposed to put you paralyzed. So that way you're not moving like when your dreams, you know, doing all that. But sometimes you'll actually wake up before the paralysis wears off. So you're actually stuck, paralyzed in almost a dream state, but kind of awake-ish. So this is one of those stories. Definitely something that would be extremely scary if you didn't know what it was. Let's get it going.
I have always been fascinated with the paranormal and creepy things in general. I enjoy watching all of those TV shows about hauntings and creepy things in general. I'm a huge fan of the hit TV series. I enjoy watching all of those.
Hold on, we're having issues.
I have experienced sleep paralysis.
What the hell is going on? Talk about creepy.
However,
okay, that was weird. I'm glad I was sitting here to listen to that. Okay, we're gonna restart that because that was weird.
I have always been fascinated with the paranormal and creepy things in general. I enjoy watching all of those TV shows about hauntings, and am a huge fan of the hit TV series Supernatural. I have experienced sleep paralysis only 3 times in my life. However, this experience is by far the scariest of all experiences. Let me start with some background, as it is important to the story. I am a 17-year-old female, living in the southeastern United States. I have 2 sisters, Grace, age 14, and Cece, age 11. I also have a dog named Molly. My house is small, but it supports us. My sister's bedroom along with our parents' bedroom are all on the upper level, while mine is on the lower level. Let me further explain the floor plan or the lower level, as it is important to the story. If you walk out of my room, you are in a small hallway containing doors to the bathroom, laundry room, garage, and 2 separate closets on either side. The hallway opens up to the family room and kitchen. The kitchen is adjacent to the family room, and the 2 rooms are openly attached to each other. I am a very heavy sleeper, but I have a lot of trouble falling asleep. I sleep with a small radio that plays music, and I sleep with my door open and the bathroom light on. This light sometimes creates a shadow on the wall. This was my first experience with sleep paralysis. I am in a program called the International Baccalaureate program at my school. The workload from this program causes me to stay awake for long periods of time doing homework and other important things for school. One night, I had stayed up till about 2 a.m. doing homework. I was very tired by the time I had finished my work and was ready to sleep. I turned off my light and walked over to my bed, jumping on it and pulling the covers over my body. I should also probably mention that at the time I was having extremely vivid nightmares and had witnessed horrifying things while asleep. As I fell asleep, I heard my phone buzz, signifying that I had got a text. I checked my phone and saw a text message from a friend of mine, Joe. I have known Joe for 5 years. He is ex-military, and he had been kicked out due to emotional trauma from some of the horrific things he had witnessed while deployed in Iraq. As a result, Joe is very overprotective of me. The text said, "Be careful. I know those dreams have been bothering you. Love you." This was very alarming, as I hadn't told him anything about the dreams I had been having. I texted him back asking him what the hell he was talking about and how he had known about my dreams. Within 10 minutes I got a response. "You know exactly what I'm talking about, Hannah." It is not like Joe to use my name like that, so this made me more uncomfortable than I already was. My head searched for an explanation. I decided that my overly tired mind was just playing tricks on me, and I went to bed. I slept for about 2 hours before I was awoken. I don't know what woke me up, but when I did wake up, I had a looming feeling of dread. I sat there for a while, not moving, just staring at the ceiling, thinking. Then something caught my attention out of the corner of my eyes. The kitchen light had flicked on. This is unusual, as I'm the only night owl in the family, and no one ever woke up at this hour. I attempted to turn over to get a better look, but as you probably guessed, I couldn't move. I could only move my eyes, and I was freaking out at this point. I knew that I was experiencing sleep paralysis, and was dreading the next moments. If you don't already know, sleep paralysis is often accompanied by terrifying hallucinations. I knew this very well and was dreading their arrival. I look at the end of my bed, expecting to see something creepy there, but there was nothing. I was relieved, but still terrified, as I still couldn't move. I looked all around my room, but saw nothing. Then out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. I say it, as I have no idea what it was. Standing in the hallway, there was a black mass, somewhat resembling the shape of a man. The face had no features except 2 large white eyes, and the body seemed to fuse with the walls and floors around it. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I sat there staring at it, terrified. It slowly moved closer to me, never breaking eye contact. It seemed to almost float as it moved closer and closer until it was right on top of me. It leaned over and whispered something in my ear that I will never forget. "You should tell your sisters to be more careful, Hannah." My eyes widened and I yelled back, "Get the hell away from my sisters!" It stood there staring. Then out of nowhere, laughter erupted from all sides. This was no ordinary laugh. No, this laugh was pure evil. At this point, I was scared shitless. Why my sisters? Where are they? Are they okay? Are they dead? Am I going to die? Questions like this passed through my mind as I was laying there with this thing staring at me, laughter blasting in my ears. Then, as fast as it had started, everything stopped. I could move. I got up and ran into the kitchen where the light had flickered before. However, before I could get into the kitchen, I tripped over one of the tables and hit my head on the corner. I fell on the floor, my head bleeding from a small cut on my forehead. I got up and ran into the kitchen, ignoring the throbbing pain coming from my head. What I saw, I will never forget. My sisters were both sitting on the floor in the corner of the kitchen. They were huddled together, holding each other, shaking. There was blood all over the kitchen floor where they sat. I knelt down and asked, "Grace, Cece, what are you doing here? What's wrong?" The second I spoke, they both turned to look at me, and the look in their eyes was pure unconditional fear. Their faces were covered in blood. Neither of them responded to my question, but Cece lifted her finger, pointing at something behind me. Terrified, I turned around, and there was the black mass I had seen before. He started laughing again, and I screamed. Then, I woke up. I sat up in bed, tears dripping down my face, my body covered in cold sweat. I looked at the clock, and it was about 5 a.m. I did not go back to sleep, and just sat in my bed. After what seemed like hours, morning finally came, and I walked into the bathroom and looked in the mirror. And to my horror, I saw a small gash on my head where I had hit the table in my dream. Blood had dripped down my face and encrusted on my forehead. I cleaned the wound and tried my best to hide it from my parents and my sisters. I never told anyone about this, and the scar is fully healed. However, I looked at my messages with Joe, wanting to confirm that I had texted him that night. None of the text messages were there. I have no explanation for the events of that night, and nothing paranormal had ever happened in my house before this experience. I had 2 other instances of sleep paralysis after this, but neither of them were as vivid or as terrifying. If anyone has any idea about what happened to me, please feel free to let me know.
The volume was real low. Sorry about that. I thought it was alright. I listened to it on my phone. It sounded like it was alright. Patreon? No, I'm gonna set one up probably again soon. I got rid of it a while ago because I figured YouTube was gonna be alright. You know, with the new super chat thing, I figured people would donate there to help the channel if they wanted, as opposed to having a monthly bill. And then this whole thing came out And I saw someone asking about if you get paid per views. No, you don't get paid per view. You actually get paid per ad, and if someone watches the ad through, like if they skip it, it doesn't count any of that. And essentially the issue that's going on is the ads aren't showing up for people. So it's not just a view-based thing. My views are doing normal, nothing's changed in that aspect. But T-shots, how do I come up with these stories? They're submitted to me, or I find them on Reddit. So that's how I usually find my stories. Would I ever do stories about nightmares people have had? Yeah, I would. I can't remember. I think I have done one, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, Hydra. So I shouldn't skip the ads for YouTubers I like. No, that's how the YouTubers make their revenue, and especially now if there's an ad up, that's probably one in very rare. So it definitely helps them out. Am I frozen? I don't know. My OBS looks like it's fine. I don't know. And the stream's on a little bit of a delay, so even if I ask you guys, I'm still waiting for a response. Once I set up a Patreon, yeah, I'll definitely make an announcement. I mean, I think that would help a lot. I'm not frozen? Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, definitely email any scary stories you want to submit. I mean, even if I don't use them, I'll definitely read it. Do I take suggestions on stories? I do, and it's just, I'd love to try to get all the suggestions. It's just really hard to always find the exact stories. Like sometimes I'm able to type what I'm looking for in my actual email search and then it'll come up, but not always. Dominique's behind me? I didn't see you. Random batshit. Never skipping ads again. And after I started learning how it ran too, I do the same thing. I always make sure to watch them all the way through, especially for channels that I like. Hydra, I'll be writing a story, send it to your email tomorrow. Awesome, sounds really good. I appreciate it. Yeah, Alexis, I'm back. I'd watch a 7-minute ad for you. Thank you. Lizeth, take care. Thank you for dropping in. I really appreciate it. Thanks everyone who says you watch my ads. That's super awesome. Now once YouTube gets it fixed and we start getting ads up there, we're going to be gravy again. How many story submissions do you get regularly? It really depends. It always picks up when I upload because obviously more people are seeing the announcement at the end of the videos. But it just really depends. I mean, there's some days where you'll get a shit ton, other days where it's a couple. Did you sneak off to smoke, bud? Yep. That I did. Is YouTube your only job for now? Yeah, for now it is. And hopefully it stays that way, but I don't know. Dominique, your bed is so comfy, Urmaker. You're in there with my cats? And my wife was just in there too? Wow. Might have to have a talk with her. Did you really just leave a note on the wall? You can talk, baby. Huh? Scorpion? Oh, there's a scorpion outside? Oh. Okay. So you can talk. Good morning, Black Widow. Good morning. Hi, wife. Once she walked off, she went back in the bedroom. She heard Dominique was hiding in my bed. She said, what? Pylonial waffles. Going to bed now. Good night, Urmaker. Good night, waffles. Shake that. I'm gonna shake that right there. Shake that. I'm gonna help Urmaker and watch all the ads on his videos. Thank you. You're probably not gonna see very many right now. That's the issue. But no, it's definitely much appreciated. I'm sure I'd hope they're gonna fix all this. And they have to. My cat is so soft. I can't say what I was gonna say. Yes, my cat is very soft. How did you get into this? I used to listen to music at work. Got tired of listening to the same music, so then I started listening to horror narrations. Ran out of all the narrations within a couple weeks. Figured I wasn't the only one with the issue. So I started recording, and First day I uploaded, I got 80 views in the first day, and man, I was hooked. It was just, yeah. I'd been on YouTube since 2008, always trying gaming, and that never took off. I had 212 subscribers after like 6-7 years, something like that. So then once this took off, it was crazy. I heard it was Pepsi ad got placed on a racist video. I've heard a lot of different things too. I don't I don't know what it is. Not really sure. I've heard that. I've also heard a dude has a patent on how to find the algorithm method to find the ads that would be on there, and he just got his patent approved. There's so many different things. I don't think anyone really knows what's going on. It's all just speculation at this point. Yay, narrate the scorpion experience. I had a lot of scorpion experiences. There was one time I was playing poker at my grandma's, because there's always scorpions here, and there was a tiny little scorpion. I was drunk as hell, and I don't remember exactly what happened. I got the scorpion. Oh, yeah. I used a pack of cigarettes, and I got the scorpion. Barely covered the size of him. Yeah, Skinwalker stories are a nice twist, you know. Gives you that paranormally, almost attacky vibe. Plus, you never know. I live in Washington, and I live across the street from 2 dispensaries. Please do more stories on hospitals. Yeah, I haven't done hospital stories. And I think the last ones I did were on Urmaker, and I've made that private since then. I appreciate that, Steven. I'm glad you saw my personal story. Yeah, that was definitely something I had to put out there. But Boo Boo, how much money do you make off ads? It all depends on the ad, how long they've watched it, if it's been skippable, if it's an overlay, if it's on the side. It just sometimes a penny. Usually one ad doesn't do too much from what I understand. I'm not really sure. I know they base it off like 1,000 views. Per 1,000 views gets you X amount of money, and it's such a wide variety. Like, it's really hard. I can say right now I'm making about 10% of what I was making, and that's very scary. And I'm not rich. You got a lot of food, Urmaker. See, now I know you're lying. No, I don't. I haven't been food shopping in like 2 months. My wife and I are like, we need to go food shopping today. And I was like, yeah, but there's people outside. Yeah. How about a 1-minute ad? You really couldn't say. It depends on what product it's for. It even depends on what channel it's on, because it's based on the channel's CPM and RPM. It's a whole complex algorithm. You can never actually point it down. It also depends on the season. You know, if it's getting close to a holiday, usually there's more ads. Used to be. I don't know what's going on now, but it's just, there's so many different things. It's always hard to say how much you'd make. What up, Adriana? What up? Narrate your YouTube experience. I thought about it. You're like, I'm scared as shit, because I'm scared as shit. I mean, hoping it all works out. Like I said, I've been in contact with the guy from YouTube, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to start pumping one story out per video and just try to do a couple per day, per channel, and hope that works. Yeah, his revenue's down 80. Yeah, mine's but down 80 to 90%. Today's like a 90, maybe a little over a 90%. I've been freaking out all fucking day. Walmart is not in Australia. That's crazy. I did not know that. I thought they were everywhere. That's sativa or indica. Depends on the mood. Indica before night, sativa when I'm during the day. Can you get Wall Street Journal for getting major companies to pull out their ads from YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things. Like, that's the downside. Like, you legitimately take a risk when you go all in with something like this, and I mean, that's what you do. You don't know what's gonna happen. That's the horrible thing, is then there's no unemployment. It's just essentially like later. That's what's so bad, is like there's no way to fix it. Like, they don't tell us what to do other than get 900% more views. Good luck with that. Do people ask for a signature when out in public? I've never seen any subscribers that I know of, but I also don't go out a lot during the day too much. But no, I've only had one person ask for an autograph, and yeah, he won my very first giveaway. I was giving away a pair of Beats by Dre, a tablet, and a shirt, and the guy who won the shirt wanted an autograph. That was really cool. I was like, damn, I'm actually signing an autograph. Take care, random batshit. Nice name. I'm glad you made it by. Thank you. Black Friday is the purge in disguise. It is. It is. Last Black Friday was the first time I actually went. It was actually Thursday, too. So Black Thursday was the last time I actually went out. The only time I've ever went out. That was when I got my drone, actually. I bought a drone. My wife got some pots and pans or Tupperware or something. And then I bought a drone for my nephew. Thank you, Adriana. I appreciate that. Joshua, I want some tabs. I've seen someone take a toy from a little girl on Black Friday. People will fight for whatever it is. If they think their kid's going to have a really good time with it, they're going to go ahead and just take it. Jackie, yes, you want a giveaway. Also, you got a handwritten letter. What did I write? I just remember. That was before we even actually started chatting. Like, Jackie actually chats with my wife now. And she's actually on my personal Facebook. I've got a couple people on my personal Facebook account. Like, there's a few people that actually know my real name. And that's what happens when you're around my channel a lot and show a lot of support and all that. I get to know you as a cool person, so I trust you more. There's also Kiki. She's a really good friend of mine. Jody and her daughter, Patience, really cool friends. I call them every now and then on PlayStation Network and chat. I haven't done that in a while. Everything's been so crazy. If you're watching, sorry. I don't even have a Facebook. Double Anarchy said that. Yeah, I didn't have one. I deleted mine for over a year, and then YouTube took off, so I ended up having to get another one. So, Carissa, I wrote you on Snapchat. Yeah, I need to get on Snapchat. Cell phones are really hard for me. Not like hard to figure out, just hard as in I don't use them. Like, I probably have all the Snapchats still. Like, even my wife's the one that charges my phone. I bought a phone. It's got a really long battery. It lasts like 2 or 3 days on a single battery. And she's the one who charges. I'll forget that I have a phone, and it'll be like 2 days later, and she'll be like, "Get any phone calls?" I'm like, I don't know. So she always charges my phone, and I got to start getting on Snapchat more. I feel like you're one of the few remaining real YouTubers. Nah, they're out there. They are out there for sure. It's just finding them. Finding the real ones. Like you said, everyone's got this fake crap about them, but I try to keep it real. That's how I've always been. That's how I'll always be. I always see myself as being like that old man no one likes because I speak it how it is. Yo, whippersnappers, get off my lawn. I pre-ordered 2 Samsung Galaxies S8s. Can't wait. I don't buy the new phone. Like, I had this last phone I bought specifically because my drone couldn't work on my other old phone. So my wife was tired of me stealing her phone, and I ended up getting this one. It was like $100 or something like that. But really nice phone for $100. But I'm not big on buying the new technology all the time. Like, especially phones. I got my laptop most of the time, so I can do pretty much everything on there. So, Little Beefington, you're such a nice guy. Pretty cool that you do these live streams. Really helps us get to know you. Yeah, it's nice doing these. Actually get more of the communication aspect. And actually get people chatting real time. Makes it a little easier. Actually get to know my audience as well too. So it works both ways. What kind of games did I used to play? Back when I was a kid, I played Mario on regular Nintendo, Mario, all that. Then I went to Super Nintendo, did the same. Then I was on Xbox. I used to play Halo, and then I joined the Army, and that was pretty much when I got out of gaming. And then a few years ago, I got back into it. Right now, I currently play Rocket League, and Rainbow Six Siege is probably the top played game that I play. But those are the two main ones. I'll probably start playing Friday the 13th again. Just reinstalled The Evil Within. Thank you, Adita. I appreciate that. Or Aditya. I probably said that wrong, but thank you. I appreciate that. Where am I from? I am originally from Northern California, but right now I live in Arizona. Let's change that background. Let's make it back to my drone footage. Oh, and I can float again. In the sky. In the sky. Do I have a PS4? Yes, I do. Yeah, that's pretty much what I play on. Urmaker 6'9". Yeah, I've lost so much rank recently on Rainbow Six, man. These randoms are killing me. I'm horrible. I'm like down to silver 2. I went from gold 3 to silver 2. The struggle is real. The struggle is really real. Camera's moving around. Oh, yeah, the background footage. Yeah, most definitely. What up, Danielle? Good morning. PS4 Master Race. I wouldn't go that far. I still think PC would be. It's just PCs are a lot of money to get into gaming. Do I play Black Ops? Joshua asks. I play zombies every now and then. I'll get on there and mosh with a buddy of mine. Usually put that on Twitch. But I don't play the multiplayer. Just too much. The maps are too small. Everyone just hides in the corner. And it's not set up like Rainbow Six where it's tactical. Wait, where in Arizona? Lake Havasu City. That lake you're looking at right there. Lake Havasu City. Lake Havasu City. I go fishing out on the point of that little island thing out there. Out there. Out there. I just made it to Silver 2. I got demoted to Silver 2. Oh. Battlefield 1? No, I've not played Battlefield 1, and I probably never will. I played Battlefield 4, and I don't know. I was a fan of Battlefield 4, and still am. It's just a Overwatch. No, it's too cartoony for me. I'm very picky. I'm very picky. Television shows, movies, stories. I need to start loosening up on those too. Do I have a Snapchat? Yes, I do. I try to use it occasionally, but I do. It's Fear Urmaker. I appreciate that 111111111111111000000. I'm not gonna say that a billion times, but appreciate that. Arizona looks like the dry desert of Resident Evil. It's a pretty dry desert. And for those of you that weren't earlier, out back that way in the desert, they've been finding dead bodies. Dead bodies, like 2 of them in the past couple weeks. Crazy. One was a hiker that went missing like 4 months ago. And the other one was a dude or a couple, and they were dead in their RV at the park. Weird. Well, guys, it's probably getting to that point. I'm going to probably end down the stream. It's getting close to midnight already, and I can't even talk right. SSJ4 Goku 360. Can you shout me out or I'll unsubscribe? Really? You're going to threaten someone like that? Really? Wow. That's messed up, mate. How long have you been doing YouTube? Full time? I've been doing YouTube about almost 2 years. Yeah, a little under 2 years. In between a year and a half and 2 years. Finish when you reach 300 likes. I don't even know where I'm at right now. Like, my video wasn't showing up on my channel for me, so I'm actually sitting in my analytics, so I can't even see the likes to dislike ratio. I can see it says 159 people watching. Yeah, that's about all I see. You're at 289. Yeah, but as soon as I say it's gonna be as soon as I say it's gonna be 300 likes when I get off, it's all gonna be dislikes. It's all gonna be dislikes. Dominique, no more shout outs. That was your last one right there. What up, Ace? Just in time for us to pretty much end this. I've been subscribed for 3 years now. Were you one of my subscribers when I was gaming? I know I had a few of those, so if so, damn. Old school, original. The crazy thing is I actually found an old buddy of mine from PlayStation 2 when I first made the Urmaker name. And it was right when I had like 10, 15,000 subscribers. I just got a random message on YouTube and it was like, hey, are you the Urmaker that used to play SOCOM blah 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 on PlayStation 2? And I was like, yes. And it turns out, like, he was a little kid at the time. Now he's an adult, but it was funny. He used to always call me his dad. He was actually around when my daughter passed away, so really good friend. Amazing how you meet people overline. Like, I played so many video games. Like, he knew before it happened, when it happened. He was there to help support, and he always called me dad. I called him son. And he just messaged me, and it turned out it was him. Solo Wings. Shout out if you still listen. I'm sure you're out there somewhere. Solo Wings. But yeah, it's really awesome that YouTube helped me re-find an old friend. So many years down the road, he just happened to look up that video game and saw my very first video was that. And yeah. Pretty awesome. Yeah, that's one of the small world stories. Like, I'm sure if you guys are used to my streams, when I was in Northern California, about in 5th or 6th grade or something like that, we had this guy named Zach. I'm not gonna say his last name, but his name was Zach, and he ended up just leaving our school. He was at our school for like 3 or 4 years, and then he just left randomly. And years go by. I moved to another state, Oregon, and then I end up joining the military and did my basic training in Fort Leonard Wood. And then after that, I got my duty station, part of the Big Red One in Fort Riley. And I think I was there on post for 2 weeks, still in processing. And I was walking down the street up to the PX. No, I was walking back from the PX to the barracks. And like, it's something in a movie, like we just walk right by each other. And we both just pause, like after we get past, and we both just spin around at the same time and look at each other's name tags because we were both in uniform. And at the same time, we're like, are you from Fort Bragg? And it was just so funny because the last names and the looks we both, it just set off. It was so crazy. Turns out it was a dude I knew like, I don't know, 9-10 years before in another state, completely across the country, knew him. It was so random. One of those really cool things. SSJ for Goku. I'm unsubscribing because you hurt my feelings. Bye. Ah, sad to see you go. Why are you gonna leave? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm sure it's a joke. If not, tough love. 223, 224. Yeah, it's getting late everywhere. Good night, Joe Richmond. Good night. Yeah, it's 11:24 here. It's almost midnight. I haven't even eaten dinner. Brian, when's my next stream? Honestly, I'll probably, with the way things are going, I might just have to keep trying to do streams, and hopefully, whether or not play my new videos on there before I upload them or something, I don't know. It's just probably gonna start streaming a little more frequently. Seems like it's gonna be what a lot of us YouTubers are gonna have to try to do, that and set up Patreons if we want to keep doing this. He low-key wants us to leave so he can get some sleep. I'm probably not going to sleep after this. Honestly, I'm probably going to play video games. I've been so stressed all day. Like, my stomach's been wonky as shit. I think I've played 2 games of Rocket League all day. And that's bad. That's bad. 7:30 a.m. Damn, John, where are you at, man? You gotta be way across the world. I figured it was a joke, Goku. Don't worry. No worries, my man. Or woman. Victoria, I have to go now. Gotta go to work. Hope you have a good rest of the night, Urmaker. So happy I didn't miss the stream. I'm happy you didn't miss the stream also, and I hope you have a great day at work. I'm glad you were able to drop in, and hopefully we lifted your spirits a little to go and take the day by the cojones and twist them and show them who's boss. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. United Kingdom. I was thinking it was somewhere out in the UK. Yeah. 8 a.m. Damn. A lot of people. Drunk watching. High five, Gus. High five. Now someone's going to steal my fingerprints. I'm going to be implicated in a crime that I didn't commit. And then I'm going to have to run. Shout out from Canada. What up, Star-Lord? Danielle, 8:25 a.m. Damn. Yeah, a lot of people all over. Add me on PSN if you want. Anyone, for sure. I always accept. I just passed 666 friends on there. You have a nice pair of knockers there, Urmaker. Yeah, make them jiggle. Holland here. And I'm not from Amsterdam. That's funny. Whereabouts, blah, blah, blah. That's someone else. Do you watch Game of Thrones? Nope. I've never even seen an episode. The only thing I know is it's supposed to be in medieval times. Yep. That's all I know about it. The PSN name is Urmaker69. My name just added 69. Original, I know. But that was actually the original channel name too. Facebook, Urmaker or Fear Urmaker? I don't know. It's in the description of all of my videos. And it's also on my About tab. How do I not watch Game of Thrones? It's pretty easy. I just don't turn it on. Shit, I just realized the new Prison Break came back. I didn't even watch that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Walking Dead, yes. I do watch The Walking Dead. I was a little upset with their season finale. But I do watch The Walking Dead. And the other videos, I was Survivor. I watch a lot of Survivor. Bering Sea Gold. I love my gold shows. I watch that. What's the other one? Gold Rush Alaska. Do I watch Top Gear or the Grand Tour? No. Supernatural or Flash? No. My wife loves Supernatural. She just bought a big old blanket with the short-haired dude. He's got a big old face of him on there. But she loves Supernatural. Me, not so much. Same with Doctor Who. My family loves Doctor Who. Like, my whole family is obsessed with Doctor Who. And yeah. Urmaker, I have the same zodiac sign as you. Nice. Awesome. We're little fishies. Ever seen 1408? No. I think the show I'm thinking of is the 4400. That was a fun one. Haven't watched The Walking Dead finale yet, but now I'm scared. It's all right. I mean, it's a finale. A lot of people would probably expect more, but a lot of people would probably happy. I'm not gonna say any more than that, so it doesn't get ruined. Gustavo, I'm Cancer. Damn, don't be so hard on yourself, dude. That's messed up. John, yes, I'm Pisces. Pisces. Rick and Morty. I've watched an episode of Rick and Morty. My buddies love it, and they keep recommending it, but... Oh, this is where my drone crashes again. Yay. You're gonna... I think some of you have seen this, but yeah, it'll flip around and it'll show me over there in the distance, and it'll fly back to me, and then it flies away, and then it's like, eh. Have I seen Fear the Walking Dead? Yes, I have, and I watched that. That should be coming back in a few weeks, right? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just, even like Bob's Burger, like, it was great. The first one, I'm just getting, I don't know. It's like Family Guy, all of that. I used to love them. It's just, the humor's almost died on me, I think. I don't know. Even my wife, we don't watch them together anymore. She'll watch the Bob's Burger and all that without me. Mr. Pickles, I never even finished the last episodes of that. And that's right up my alley. Mr. Pickles! Love that show. But I still haven't watched it. I don't know. No, this is Patrick. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. No. No, I know Joshua when he said Cancer. I know. It was a joke. I knew that was his sign. Yeah, I haven't watched The Simpsons in a while either. And there goes my drone crashing. Awesome. That was the second crash I did on my drone. My first one was actually in my backyard, but that was my second. Take care, Jortholden. That can be said a couple different ways. Take care. I appreciate you dropping in. Would it be better if the stories you submit have no cursing in it? I don't know. That I kind of thought that would have a play, but it appears like it's not really doing much of a difference. So I've been taking a lot of the cursing out. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I used to watch that. Yeah, rest in peace, my drone. Yeah, I couldn't even take off the blades when I was out there. I had to try to put it in my backpack and put it up so I could carry it because I hiked all the way out there. Have I ever been to India? No, I've never been to India. I've never been outside of the U.S. Dab for me. Don't know what kind of dab you mean, but one I can't do, and the other is just stupid. Mini dab. Mini dab. There you go. But I really appreciate the support, Cracked Vinyl. Definitely want to give you a shout out. That's awesome. Thank you. I like the swearing. Reminds me of my father. I don't know my father. I've never met him. I don't even know his name. Have I ever been to Colorado? Yes. When I was taking a Greyhound, I stopped in Colorado. And when I was flying, yeah, I've been there on Greyhound, the bus, and the airport. Never actually driven around, but yeah. Well, guys, it's like 11:30, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and end this stream. But it's been a lot of fun chilling with everyone, getting a chat. Your support's been amazing. Seriously, it helps me more than you guys know. Like, it helps a lot. Yeah. Can't say much more than thank you, but definitely everyone who's actually came in, super chatted and everything, make sure you keep an eye out tomorrow. Should it be my new video tomorrow? I'm going to have a special thank you for all you guys at the end of it. But I really appreciate everyone dropping in, chatting, getting to know everyone. And I'm sure I'll do this again next one. Maybe I'll do it where I'm recording live or something when I'm just doing my video. I'm not really sure. Please upload more stories. That's the plan, except now I'm going to probably have to do all of my videos one story per video until we know what's going on. When is the next stream? Between Fear Your Maker and Your Maker, it'll probably be within the next couple days. Probably do something on Fear. I'm really waiting for Friday the 13th to come in. I want to play that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But, yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Can I do more deep web stories? I'd have to find a really good deep web story to ever make me go back. Everything's so overdone. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night, and thank you all for dropping in, and I will catch you in the next one. And new video will be out tomorrow, most definitely. So, actually today for a lot of you. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And have a good night. Your Maker out.